Postman lovers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Unbelievably, I've made it back from San Diego in time to stream. And boy, are my arms tired. Probably just from sleeping on them weird. I've been going through something. Anyway, let's date the stream. It is Saturday, June 1st, 2024. Last night, May 31st, 2024, I was in San Diego to see one of my all-time favorite music artists who hails from the United Kingdom and has never been to the United States before, which is a familiar refrain because there's been a lot of that going around recently, but it was awesome. It was extremely good, and while I always hate to miss a stream, very much worth it. It does sort of herald the beginning of what is increasingly seeming like a chaotic time for normally scheduled streams, and of course the audio cable is still garbage. We'll be dealing with that all day and for the rest of our life until maybe post-move things will be better. I don't know. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough brain day for sure. For at least the last like 7 days, I've been getting like medium to low sleep. But all in service of various good causes. We are working on the move, the time frame increasingly unclear. Every time it gets clearer, it gets less clear, but it will happen, and it is important, and it will probably make things better, but not before things become more chaotic, because that's just how nature is. Yeah, our life beginning and always. Did did they ever do a full release? I feel like you were trying that in beta letters. It's a really interesting game. It's like a romance visual novel on like a scope different than stuff I normally see. Yeah, moving is always chaos. It's very disruptive. It's like generally speaking, it's like high on the least favorite things to do list, but sometimes the move is inevitable and sometimes the move is beneficial, but it always, in and of itself, kind of sucks. It just does. So because most people don't really share my particular musical taste, I don't imagine I'll go too much into the story of my trip necessarily. We'll see how that goes. But I do want to mention, because it was incredibly cool. So, the venue we went to, called like the Observatory, is like an old theater with like most of its seats removed, and is like heralded as sort of just like, it's like general admission, no seats, mostly standing room kind of thing. And there was like an option, like an upcharge for like a VIP section. They're like, there's like a VIP balcony, and it didn't specify anything other than that, and the fact that it was like a separate purchase from like a general admission ticket, so you would buy both of them. And I sort of went back and forth with this. It's like, I don't know. I mean, as much as I'm into dance music, being in the big like mob of dance is a little intense for me, because I'm like kind of antisocial and whatnot. So, you know, I was like, I figure worst case scenario, it's just like, it is a less crowded area, and if there's an upcharge for it, it's probably got a pretty good view of its own. So I went ahead and bought that, and get to the venue last night. We get upstairs and like, so VIP section actually has seating and like other amenities that didn't end up being particularly important to me. But I was like, oh, that's nice, because don't necessarily love standing for an entire concert. I've done it before, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but like, it's nice. You pay money, you get a benefit. Capitalism works occasionally. Now, the important thing is, so the concert happens, and it's absolutely amazing. Just life-changing stuff. And so, you know, we reach encore. Sophie Ellis-Bextor comes out, does like another song. It's awesome. Then she like vanishes like really quickly. And it's like, yeah, it's been a long show. Totally get it. All of a sudden, up on the balcony where we're situated, my parents and I, just like a group of like half a dozen people just absolutely like storm in like directly in front of us. And we're like, what's going, like the show is over. Who's like coming to the VIP section now? And it turns out that it is the artist I went to see, Sophie Ellis Bextor, and like a single guitarist and probably like some security staff or something. And they came like up to the VIP section, and that is where she performed her final number for the evening, less than like 10 feet away from where I was at. And I'm like, holy crap, if you put that on the ticket, I don't have to worry about spending that money. I will spend that money and more money and be happy to do it. I have no idea at what point in the history of the universe this decision was made that we were going to do this, like, surprise, like, acoustic finale attack on the VIP balcony. But it's legitimately one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. And my dad, who wasn't as completely shell-shocked as I was, got, like, some really good close-up video of it. It's amazing. So, like, just a really great experience. I mean, the show was awesome, and I was already like, this was an awesome thing and a great idea, and I'm glad I went out. And then that happened, I'm like, I don't have grounds to evaluate how incredible that experience was for me as a person. Like, there's not a lot to compare that to. Like, this is, you know, this is an artist who I've followed since, like, not extremely long after she started becoming famous in Europe, but, like, she's based entirely in Europe. She's like toured a little bit in like Germany and like, you know, other countries in that area, but like mostly just performs in the UK, which I've never been to, and I don't have a lot of money for like, you know, international travel and whatever. And I'm like, I'm not sure I'll ever get to see this person, and like manage to do that and then be so up close and like see her like just absolutely singing her heart out. Just like I don't know. I know I come across really cynical most of the time, and for good reason, but just like that's this thing where I just can't be like objective. I'm like, that's just on an emotional level, I struggle to absorb the gravity of this. Which is a perfect counter segue into Harold Halibut. Harold Halibut is a game where we play as a lifeless lump of clay. And you might think I'm saying that because the game is created entirely in stop motion, but nay, I say that because he is a personality-less blob of clay. And what is this, like our fourth installment of the game? In the first two, like basically nothing happened, and then in the last one, well, I like in the second installment, we fished a fish out of like our sunken spaceship's filtration system. It's essentially the inciting incident of the story, and it happened after like 5 hours or something. So we rescued that fish, and then there's just like a bunch of days of wasted time where we give the unconscious fish medicine and nothing happens. Then at the start of last week's stream, we give them a third kind of medicine or something, and suddenly they're awake. And Harold's boss, who is like the weirdest scientist in the world, was like, oh, the fish is awake, and it's speaking an alien language, because it's an alien life form on an alien planet. Well, I got just the thing for this. Hang on. And this implied that, like, less than a day passes, and she just, like, wheels in a device, and it just immediately starts translating the alien's language. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you did that. But okay, I guess we'll just keep playing the game. And once we could communicate with the fish, they were very friendly. They seemed to really like Harold, which, there's no accounting for taste. I mean, I don't know, maybe it just, like, really sucks being a fish person, and, like, talking to literally the most boring person in the world is, like, exciting or whatever. And then, like, a short amount of time passed, and the alien's like, yeah, so, like, you should come hang out with, like, the Flibbledips, or something. I forget exactly what the name is, but it's something that's literally very similar to Flibbledip. And they're like, yeah, so, like, the Flibbledips are just, like, I don't know, they're kind of, like, sea people. We don't have a name for us, like, humans, and, like, we're all a little bit different, because we're, like, different species of sea life or something. It's a little like the fishmen from One Piece, if you're into that. But so then, in addition to just like casually creating an alien translating device with dark magic, as letters suggest, then the scientist is like, hey, see this like unmarked hatch over here that's been visible the whole game, we haven't used for anything? Follow me. And we go through in there, and she's like, yeah, I have this like black market submarine that you can use to go and meet the Flibble Dips. And so we went over there, and like we tried to talk to the fish people, but the translator doesn't work that way because like I'm still a little unclear as to why. The game has made it clear that the translator only works like directly for us, and Wii is the working name of our alien companion. Yeah, so like Wii like kind of showed us around and introduced us to a bunch of people and showed us some weird stuff like inserting a bubble fish into a machine to get a rope made of taffy and then using that to get a new bubble fish, which isn't efficient. But our main purpose for visiting their habitat is that Professor What's-Her-Face, Dr. Claw, was like talking to Wii at one point, and we was like, yeah, we got like a whole mysterious dark cave filled with super dupes bacteria, and that will solve all your space travel problems. Because in those first like 5 hours where nothing happened, we vaguely established that even though we've like lived on this alien planet for like 50 years, we want to leave, and the only time we can do that is within like, I think we have like 86 days left or something like that. And they act like it's no time at all, but like I think all we need to do is get the right kind of space bacteria, probably ruin the ecosystem of this planet as an allegory for like America or something, and then just like take off and maybe go back to Earth or something. However, there have been some hints and indications upon going to the alien culture that perhaps we may be on Earth, or there's some kind of close tie between Earth and this planet, which we've been led to believe is very far away from Earth. But we did manage to go investigate what is colloquially known as the crack, and there was a great observational line of dialogue about it, where we go over there, and he's like, so did no one ever like go and look in this crack? And that's not even the best part. And we was like, yeah, a couple people did. They went down there and they never came back. We just assumed they were happy. Which, you know, it says a lot about the culture or whatever. But I think that more or less brings us up to speed. After that happened and we like interacted with the aliens and had visions that sort of tied back to Earth, we just sort of like had a sleepover at Wii U's house. Now we're probably gonna take a look at that crack. So without any further ado, let's take a look at that crack. I mean, play Harold Halibut. I went to the PS5 menu because it has a much higher music audio level for the sake of the stream start screen. Cotillion did appear. Hello, Cotillion. You're here or something. Oh, we're down to 60. Oh, that's right. There were like 5 montages last time. We lost a bunch of time and accomplished nothing. 60 days left. Dawn of the 32nd day.
Morning, Wii U. Well, you probably don't have mornings, do you?
Don't really have a sun down here.
Not like on the Fedora, but there is still a right time to get up.
How long have you been awake?
A little while, but then I had a wander around and a nap.
I hope this is one of those interstellar things where, like, she's been awake for, like, 1,000 years.
Feels so peaceful here.
Yes. Always something clanging on the ship. Anyway, come on. Submarine time.
Oh, yeah, we were gonna bring the jelly back to the doctor. The jelly with the vision of... What exactly was the vision we had that was relevant? It's something pertaining to the crack, I guess? And she's gonna look at it and tell us what to do later, I guess. I kind of forgot exactly where we left off. The translation devices are only earpieces. It's literally that. It's like moderately more complicated than that. I think it's supposed that our personal digital assistant, which is our menu, sketch of Wii U wearing shoe as a... It could also be a hat. I see. I understand their culture better. It's implied that, like, now, the personal digital assistant is processing the translation. But I think it's along the lines that, like, only the earpieces have input. No, only the earpieces have output to translate. So, like, whatever microphone is picking up the sound goes into our device, and we understand the aliens, but the aliens don't understand us because they can't hear output from our PDA. It's something like that. All I remember it was, like, literally the last jelly you clicked on. Yeah, I'm good at that. I'm super good at losing coin flips, is how I shorthand that. Anyway, let's, I guess it's submarine time, which is a very good time indeed. I do have a run button, don't I? I think it's hold square. I'm not running, however. How was everyone's week, including Friday, when normally we would have discussed this? This over here, this is the pyramid, this is the library, and it's also where the jellies live. I could give you slightly more explanation than that, but I just assume you don't need it. I'm pretty sure hold square is the run button, and it just doesn't work in to Alien Town. So I believe I'm just backtracking to where I entered this area is the idea. I did pause for like 5 seconds, and we will like launch like a rocket, so I couldn't follow them directly all the way back. We flip the camera, and we boop the orbs, and we make the song. Goodbye, colorful world. I like the way you put that. And yes, indeed, our ship is also drab, much like our character, which for some reason makes me think of Blue by Eiffel 65. Drab his house with his drab little window and his drab Corvette, and everything is drab like him, inside and outside. I think I missed a lyric in there somewhere. I seem to be correct, as I eventually found Wii, who waited up for me, but only after getting like 85% of the way back to the submarine. My leg movements are goofy. We are playing a fully stop-motion animated game, so it's forgivable, but it does look like his bones have dissolved and he's going to fall on top of his own shoes. Which, if we're being honest, sounds like something I'm capable of, but it hasn't yet happened to me. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. The peak of culture indeed. I'm glad that we've accumulated a community of culture here. It is entertaining to me that at roughly this point in time, a member of the Electric Narwhal crew is currently getting married with at least one other member of the community in attendance from a completely different country. And there's an implication they may join us in the stream later, which is bizarre and very funny to me. God, I sure wish the run button was working. This is bad enough. I'm going to see... I guess I need to use the hard pause. Controls. Run is hold square. Great. So it just doesn't work for this incredibly long trek, is all that you need to know. This could have been a cutscene, which is a thing I love to say a lot. This honestly could have just been cut.
It's going to be strange getting back to the Fedora.
We literally could have smash cut back to the spaceship. None of that mattered.
Not through a filter, though.
Yes. And we'll be back soon with the others.
It will be nice not to be swallowed by a spaceship, I agree.
The others will think of it here.
Huh. The others. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is an extension because we're early in the stream. We haven't talked about it yet today, but like,
yes, Harold,
pacing of this game is rough, and that's a great example of it.
It's wow, everything. I mean, the jelly books, the beautiful lights. But we used to, and then there were his neighbors. Everyone was so friendly. They had this great way of making bubbles.
I thought we had settled on Wii U was gender neutral.
You must.
I know. But they weren't freaked out by me at all. They were just content with whatever. You could easily just move straight in.
Harold!
Yeah, this sounds like it's a cautionary tale.
Interesting indeed.
What? Who? When?
That, Harold, is what I was trying to tell you.
Oh,
I blame both of you equally for that.
I didn't mean...
Like, he should have been able to observe that, but, like, she definitely should have actually stopped him. Like, not, like...
Indeed.
Not be overcome by, like...
Good work.
Social anxiety. Like, no, there are dire consequences to goofing this up.
Put everything in motion. Don't spare the whip. What? No, of course I don't mean an actual whip. Now get cracking.
That time I meant an actual whip. We're finally sort of pacing this. So how bad do we think this is gonna be? Are they just gonna start killing people? I mean, we're clearly gonna goof the civilization up pretty bad. I'm curious why they feel the need to construct, like, a stage. What? Aren't we trying to leave the planet? Why did we build an elevator to our ship, which suggests we've now docked it in, like, aqua-synchronous orbit? How much time was that? That was, like, a lot of time for a ship that's trying to leave the planet!
Okay, wow, here we are. It's been a wild couple of weeks. And Wii-U, it's so good to finally meet you.
Hello.
Oi.
John, everything okay?
Oh yes, it's nothing. Carry on.
Oh, if you say so. So Wii-U, I've heard so much about you. I'm Bridget, in case you didn't know.
Okay.
Right, well,
I
just
don't
so you're
care, I'm a
aware,
fish.
I'm sometimes known as the energy bacteria lady.
That's
I
fine,
think it's
I'm a
because
fish.
I positively grow on you.
No, we're not doing that. No.
I can see we're gonna get along just fine. So is everyone as excited as I am?
Sure.
Oh, you're wise to be a little circumspect, Wii-U.
We are definitely going
What
to
can you
ruin
tell
this
us about
planet
it,
for
though?
you.
It's nice in there. Very Maugaraha.
Very what now?
Could you be a bit more specific?
No, it's
This
Malgaraha.
could be the answer we've been looking for.
It's like I said in my report, Professor. The Flumalim don't really seem to be curious
Flumalim.
about it at all.
Harold, you wrote a report?
Well,
I
just a
literally
little
didn't
one.
think you were capable of that.
Howell's right. We really don't know much about it.
Then why did you say it was really nice in there?
Probably very nice down there.
Yeah, the people
Right.
never came back. We
Well,
assume it's
okay.
great.
Let me reiterate the purpose of this expedition.
Ruin the
We know
planet?
the particles are a source of energy, but they're unstable and decay too fast on their own.
Expedition.
Yes, Wii-U. It's imperative we get down there and take some readings. If we can learn where they come from, and/or how they're produced, we might be able to engineer a solution.
I hope you have more luck than Cyrus is having.
Indeed. In the meantime,
That guy
Bridget
sucks.
will be
Then
leading
again,
the
we
mission
all
back from
kind of
here,
suck.
while I continue
We all
research and
suck
back up
down
my lab.
here.
And
Not
what
just
shall
the
we do?
octopi.
Oh, you're both essential to the plan. We just haven't quite figured out in what way yet.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
Just keep yourself available, Harold. We'll
Just
let you know
stick
as soon
around.
we
As
know
soon as we need
If
someone
you're really
totally
at a loose end,
expendable,
I'm
we'll
sure
send you in.
Cyrus would appreciate some moral support.
Okay. Well, we'll be around.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to
We-
Cyrus.
Shall we take a walk? Check on a few people?
Sorry, I've got something else I need to do.
Huh? Really?
Yes.
Is
Sorry.
it bad that I'm rooting for
Sure,
the
it's
fish
just
people
that-
to, like, ambush us with,
Yeah.
like, harpoon
Sorry.
guns or something?
I just got used to having you around. But you're right. I'm being silly. You go do your thing. I'll catch up with you soon.
And ahoy, anime,
Yes.
welcome to the stream, and
I'll
thank you for the
find you as soon as
82-month
I'm done.
resub. Good
Okay,
gracious.
let's get to it, everyone.
And the cable,
Exciting
and the audio,
times.
and it's back.
Just 1 second, Harold.
What's up?
No easy way to say this. Buddy has moved on.
You mean he's finally retired?
Nah, he
Who'll
dead.
deliver all the...
That's the mailman, in case you've
I
been
mean,
partially watching but
he's
don't
left
remember who
us.
that is.
He died, Harold.
Oh. Oh,
Maybe
buddy.
if we put his corpse in the glowing
I know you
bacteria,
two
he'll
have
come back to
become
life.
close.
That'd be fun.
I'm sorry. He was a ray of light.
I know you two had
always
become
running
close,
through the
committing a
dark
minor
halls of
felony
Fedora.
in space.
There'll be a funeral and a memorial run in his honor back on the ship soon.
I'll be there. Oh, buddy. Was it...
Yes. Peaceful.
Excruciating. To
Yes,
shreds.
Harold?
Nothing. Sorry, it's...
I'd be into
just-
suddenly zombie story. I think under the context, I
more,
prefer it to what I feel like is
I
coming.
know. Now, let's
I
get
feel like we're
going.
just gonna do the most straightforward, like, cautionary tale about colonization, and I'm genuinely kind of uncomfortable with it. Like, I hope there's either more nuance or it's less unpleasant than it feels like it will necessarily be. Like, I'm getting the vibe of, like, a story about colonization handled with the care and class of Dogville, which is one of my personally most maligned movies of all time. It has a completely valid point delivered like a sledgehammer for dental work. It's just abysmal. Anyway, I can't talk to Bridget. I can't use these two things together. Actually, I didn't try jumping directly in the hole. Can I do that? I can't even look at that crack. That sweet, sweet crack. Painful dental image. It's meant to be a cautionary mental image. The ship did a thing. Yeah, so when we got back to the ship, Harold was, like, excitedly doing an extremely bad job of recounting how cool it was to go to the alien civilization. And, like, a random... one of those, like, identical 27 uplets happened to be in the room for no logical or explained reason, and was like, I shall tell everyone about this. And he did. And then, like, 14 days passed as they built an elevator from the spaceship to here, which I have several issues with, up to and including the fact that that seems like an incredible waste of time and resources, given the fact that we have a narrow window to leave the planet, and also, like, tying the ship to a single geolocation whilst we're trying to escape seems counterproductive. Yeah, so it honestly is encouraging to me that it appears as though all of the aliens have disappeared, because I think they're rallying against us, and I'm starting to hope that they just destroy the Fedora, because we're not cool, and Harold doesn't seem like a particularly cool guy or a protagonist capable of doing anything useful to save this place. Did I actually get any clear direction? I have like 1,000 messages because like 14 days passed. Stay tuned for future cultural liaison updates as we learn more about their fascinating fishy way of life. Are these in reverse order? If you're lucky enough to witness a Flumalim play performance, the correct way to show your appreciation is by gurgling. Clapping is considered noisome. Perhaps pronounced noisesome, but I feel like I'd write that differently. And will risk confusing the play performers. I don't know what... something about just, like, play-performers feels like it's, like, belittling them. Flumalim way of life is wavy and relaxed. Hurrying and scurrying around is considered foolish, and certainly won't help speed anything up. Fit in by going with the flow. When meeting Flumalim, the preferred method of acknowledgement is wagging your fingers upright, palm facing outward. On no account must you perform a side waggle, as this is considered highly rude. The new all-water cultural liaison department is pleased to unveil our top tips for travelers to the newest tube destination. Follow these steps to ensure a polite, pleasurable, and non-humiliating trip. Mr. Halibut, Allwater is pleased to invite you to the public opening of our newest tube route destination, Flumalim Cave. Oh, sorry, I thought I was scrolling, and I wasn't scrolling. Flumalim Cave, at your local tube hub. Exact time, date, and dress code to be announced shortly. It's a weird way of punctuating that. Snacks and confetti. Your first handful will be provided free of charge. Very important that we needed to exceed our Twitter character limit. Oh, and there was... Michelle, it has come to our attention that you may have erroneously received a dispute resolution invitation recently due to some routine database rejuvenation. If you have already made a deposit to the Dispute Settlement Fund, please get in touch to request a dispute deposit reimbursement form. Cue someone in chat saying this game is very British. Is there one more? Mr. Halibut, Allwater hereby formally requests your presence at your nearest dispute resolution and procedure integrity office within the next 7 days. Failure to attend will be met with a fine, non-payment of which within 2 days will be met with repossession of proceedings. Why does it do it? I mean, I guess it's oldest to newest in like a normal email. It just feels weird that he... It feels weird that the implication is that like for 14 days he doesn't check his messages until we make him do it, but also that does feel like that's in his character because he's a lump of clay. Yeah, the newest tube destination for the next XX days. Again, it just feels like such a weird way to handle this. I know it's like super like video game hand wavy because they want us to be able to like go back to the ship and do like boring tasks up there, but like logically it just makes very little sense to me. Oh, this game is very British. Thank you for noticing, JM Plaids. Gonna garnish my suspenders. I hope they don't. I really need those. I really don't need Harold to drop trow. Tube Hopper? Is that an alias we've had previously? That sounds like the Liberty Ninja Front, or whoever the guys are, who are actually just like one child who met us clandestinely in a bathroom one time. It's almost as weird as it sounds. Harold, have you heard the one about the sad janitor? He's always moping around. Is that how you spell mopping? I guess it is. Like, I get that that's the point of the joke. It kind of works. But, like, I'm not sure if Harold's actually capable of sadness. I know that sounds mean, but, like, we've seen him experience conditions that I would expect to make him sad. I'm not sure if we've truly seen him sad. And I don't necessarily mean that as a judgment, because it increasingly seems like Harold may actually literally be, like, intentionally autistic to some degree, but I'm not sure I think the game is handling it super great, either way. Omega Pill. Mr. Mrs., have you considered Omega Pill? All needs one pill, guaranteed to make very good muchness of everything. First 10 pills, 75% off, hyphen with no additional text. I appreciate that this is written in a style that is very reminiscent of like an actual scam email in our universe. Oh, hang on. There's also one to-do list item, which is Buddy's funeral, which we have not been given a specific day or time for. Okay, serious problem with this, right? We witnessed what appears to be more or less the entirety of Buddy's friendship with Harold. I mean, they knew each other, they were relatively friendly, but I don't think they were, like, friends until we, the player, sort of force him to spend time with Buddy reading people's mails in a, like, quasi-legal fashion. Did anyone get the sense that they were, like, actually close? I mean, I'll grant you that, like, by nature of what I understand Harold's ability to have relationships with other people, like, I feel like he was he may be like our best friend. He was certainly a good friend relative to the low bar set by Harold Halibut. But, like, something feels disingenuous about this message, not because Not because it's not sad for him to have died or for Harold to have to grieve him, but just like, I didn't get the sense that he was actually emotionally very important to Harold. Yeah, I feel that way too, Demolition, that like, it felt more like Buddy kind of treated Harold like a pet. Like he was too simple to be a friend to Buddy, but he liked having him around. It felt like he was trying to, like, placate him or something. It did have, like, a weird, lopsided vibe to it. At this point, I am still not entirely sure what I'm doing. It doesn't look to me like there's anything to do in this direction, so I'll check the other over there. I could go back to the ship. I suspect that I meant to, like, find what the others are doing, but I can't be sure of that. Doesn't really look like anything's going on. Nope, I can't wander into the fabric doors. They default to wall. At least having to... I mean, I'm not even sure if I have to run this way. But at least, now that I'm doing this, and I can run, it is slightly less annoying. Still not seeing any evidence of them, nor do I know a place that isn't in this direction that they could go, that isn't also terminated in the crack. I don't want to be terminated in the crack. In this moment, I can't tell if my audio's cut out again, because it's been generally quiet underwater. Well, this wasn't it. Stuff like this can be avoided by giving a clearer sense of what the player should do. Even if the direction was simply like, you should go back to the ship, which I don't feel like was directly presented to me. Okay. Audio had cut out. We're trying to advance the story, more or less. I mean, granted, the only task I currently have is there will be a funeral. It doesn't read to me like the funeral is now, either in the note in my to-do list or in the way that information was presented to me. But given the lack of other thing to do, I'm now thinking I should treat that information as the funeral is more or less now. I should go to it. It really felt like, in a normal story, the way that last scene played out, Harold might be curious enough to, like, figure out why all the fish people suddenly vanished, but it is giving Harold a little more credit than is probably due. It does seem weird to me that we've set up an all-water corp photo op cutout thing, and there isn't one of those clones of that one guy doing it. I'm just gonna go back to the ship. I mean, there's like lots of places to fail to find something to do there, which is discouraging, but like, there's not that many places. Okay, now, I was waiting for that, and I have a logistical problem. I don't know if any of you bothered to pay close attention to that. I'm gonna hard pause, because that really needs to be addressed. So, we have touched on the fact that the all-water tube system, which is used to get around the ship, which is inherently confusing in a few different ways. Like, you stand in, like, an elevator shaft that has, like, a floor to it, and then they, like, fill it up, like, a quarter of the way with some kind of liquid, and then you drop through the floor and get where you're going. The way that tube was presented to us, the one that's now in Flumelum Cave, it clearly must be the absolute bottom of the tube system. Did you catch the problem? If you didn't, the problem is this. We watched the tube fill up maybe like a third of the way with goo. It looked a little different than the previous ones, but more or less the same. And then we went down. We went down into the earth, where the dirt or the ground or however you want to call it. But, like, we were in the tube, which must go up to the ship. We see the tube go up. And we went down. And you know what happened after we went down? We appeared up. This isn't how physics works. We're tubes. I don't know what else to say. Oh, yeah, the funeral is now, which is definitely not how that was presented to me, but okay.
Hola, everyone. It's fallen to me to say a few words.
It's the friggin' Weiner guy.
Buddy and I would often share a jog together. And despite his age, he would always give me a run for my money.
In that I
On
would
our
pay
jogs
him
and
to run.
Often afterwards, over a refreshing fish soup and cold beer,
Ugh.
I came to realize something. Buddy was like the lifeblood of this station, surging up and down its corridors, delivering information, keeping everyone connected. It's gonna be a colder place without him. Buddy left me instructions that I shouldn't ramble on at his funeral.
He said he would haunt me
But
forever,
instead,
and I already hear
I
his
should play a
vengeful
video
voice.
that he'd prepared for the occasion.
I hope it's never gonna
Is it
give you up.
running?
Darn.
You're good to go.
Hi, everyone. If you're watching this, it means I'm not around to deliver your mail and whip you all into shape in person anymore.
Sounds like the voice of
I
Bob
didn't
from
want
Bob's
to trouble
Burgers.
anyone with writing a long
There's a
eulogy,
similarity
so
there.
I recorded my own. My life wasn't much to write home.
Not this guy, the one who's
or
speaking
to
before.
anywhere about. I grew up while we were still floating around in space. Life wasn't much different, really. If anything, there's more to see out of the windows now. After we crashed, I think people felt sad that we weren't going to see new worlds. But as I got older, I realized that each person aboard the ship was a world of their own.
See, I feel like that would have been a
So
cool
I
like
became a
theme for this
postman,
game, and I don't think
and it
we've done
meant
that
I
at
got
all.
to visit lots of new worlds every day. Of course, back then we didn't have the tube system, so I had to be a bit more creative with how I got around the
You
ship.
never really explained to me what that
especially the
means.
broken bits.
That's such
It made
annoying
me
information.
realize the importance of staying in shape and being flexible. Where the body goes, the mind follows after all. And so, I wanted to leave this little collection of personal fitness and mind healthiness tips.
Now it's never gonna
So
give you
that
up.
even when I'm gone, I keep delivering smiles to you all. Oh, one last thing. I've arranged for my ashes to be delivered to the seas of this planet that has become our home. That way, some little parts of me will always be moving. Was that okay?
Yep. Just fine.
Has everyone
Okay,
done this? Or
now,
like, how did we
let's
know
get
to do
moving.
this?
Take a deep breath. It's time to shake off those cobwebs.
I think he's doing one of the Arrested Development chickens. A coodle-doodle-doo. Cuckoo-ca-cha. Has anyone on this ship even seen a chicken? You know, for a second I thought there might be some merit to this. He's like, I'm gonna give you fitness tips, and then this happened. And that's not what this is. I actually legitimately appreciate the fact that his ashes appear to be in a regular post box, because I feel like that actually fits the character in a meaningful way and might be the first relevant character detail of this entire game. Why are there, like, loose ship components that, like, definitely aren't attached to the ship? What's happening there? That's not my understanding of what the infrastructure of this world is like.
Good evening, everyone.
Nobody doing it is hilarious, and no one reacting to it is hilarious.
The all-water tube system will shortly be closing for the night.
The passage of time in this game is baffling. So I do need to speak to you about the casual reference that, like, completely shreds my understanding of the spaceship. Which is, he says that he was born in a time before the all-water tube system. But the all-water tube system, as far as we know, is the only way to get between, like, departments of the ship at all. So, like, how did the ship function without that? The ocean expounds. Nobody doing the dance is hilarious, but, like, in a sad, for the narrative way, since that was one of the first things of his personality. Yeah, I mean, it... So, like... I don't know how to do this. I think that little speech that they have that character give touches on what, on some level, is at least close to what I thought this game might be like after playing, like, an hour or two of it. Which is that, like, it has this premise of, like, being sort of a space adventure to some degree. But, like, it's like, clearly not about, like, Star Trek or Star Wars. It's not about, like, a hero's journey. It's, like, people trying to survive. But it's also not, like, Neo Lost in Space or, like a Stargate Atlantis or something. Where, like... There's like some kind of like threat or like limited resources or something, and like we must find a way to overcome it or we will not survive. So like it seemed like maybe it's like, oh, it's kind of like an offbeat, almost like indie movie slice of life thing where we wander around the ship. We're not an important person having an adventure to like save the crew. We're just sort of realizing that we're like stuck here. This is our circumstance. We're in the ship that crashed on an aquatic planet and hasn't been able to escape, and we've like made our lot in life and just like kind of see what people's lives are like after that. But like the characters, as I've said before, they pretty much all ring hollow. Like they just don't feel like people. This space doesn't feel lived in. And I think it detracts a lot from, like, the type of game this is trying to be. So, like, it is kind of funny for that, like, reasonably well-written self-eulogy video to devolve into a bizarre, like, fitness routine and, like, just get no crowd reaction whatsoever, and they don't, like, try to follow it out of respect to his quirky personality or anything like that. But, like... The fact that those things are true undercuts, like, maybe the only character we've genuinely spent any time, like, meeting. We know a few things about a few other characters, but, like, between his speech there and the fact that we spent, like, more time with him than most other characters, like, having actual exchanges of dialogue, like, we knew Buddy better than most characters, and now he's dead, and, like, not only is he dead, and thus, like, no longer a part of the story in like a material sense moving forward, like the fact that no one reacts to that makes it seem like the only person that we've met doesn't matter. So it's like, what is this, like a weird nihilistic story? I don't know. They used to use doors but decided that wasn't cool. I mean, honestly, like, you could sell me on that as, like, an action... Like, you can get away with a stupid explanation if you set the tone of your game properly. But, like, the tone of this game has been kind of hard to pin down. But it feels like it tends to be kind of dry and straightforward. So, like, a goofy, like, cartoony answer like that... I mean, I know you don't suggest that as, like, a real answer to that mystery letters, but it's just like, you know, if a concept like that came up on Futurama, like a character could just say that, and then I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? It's Futurama. Like, everything is stupid in Futurama. It's great. But like here, it's just like I'm literally like mentally struggling with this to the point that I had to have a diatribe. That, like, that threw me off so much that I had to, like, reflect on the entire existence of that character in addition to, like, that one line of dialogue. Like, look at this drawing. The toad's all over the place. Yeah, I mean, like, this is, like, a quirky, tongue-in-cheek concept. It's so weird to me that, like, I am not aware of a way to move through the sketches. Particularly because it is possible to get, like, 2 or 3 sketches at a time. And if that happens, you will just never be able to look at the sketches on a page that, like, gets flipped past by your progress. There's, like, so many things about this game that are weird. We got a new message. I wonder who it's from. Time to sleep. Today, saying bye to Buddy, it almost doesn't feel real. I know he'd tell me to go to bed and rest up so I could keep moving. That's probably true. Can I get stranded? Might make a more interesting...
Forward destinations are now offline for the night. Please return to your home station.
How do you
All
determine...
water wishes you sweet dreams.
How do you define a forward destination in this weird non-linear structure? Like, again, I know we're video game hand-waving, but, like, we're doing it in, like, kind of a lazy way is my complaint, I guess. Who monitors this? I think it's a batch of people in Space India who watch you through cameras. Or am I thinking of Amazon Fresh grocery stores? Maybe both. Like, if this was a more comedic game, you could probably use, like, the portholes as an excuse to have, like, weird stuff happen in the background. They've even established that, like, someone is, like, hacking small, like, drone robots or something to, like, show signs and things. And it just, like, hasn't mattered at all since we established that fact. I don't think anything in here matters, but I'm curious what this looks like after Wii U left. Still got a pineapple. Many missed opportunities. Oh, yeah. And it's rough, too, because, like, taking advantage of...
Wait.
Is it his ashes?
This looks like Buddy's treasure trove.
How do you know what that looks like?
Why could he have wanted to leave it to me?
Oh, is the treasure trove the letters?
Letters.
If that's true, he would give it to you because you're the only person who cares.
I'm too tired to go through all of them and figure it out now anyway. I'll try
Hey, Sarah, welcome
with
to the
a
stream.
fresh head. I think you'd approve of me pacing myself. Right, Buddy?
Nah, he said to keep moving forward, like Meet the Robinsons, an underappreciated movie.
Birthday?
Oh, did someone say birthday? He's never gonna sleep with this playing.
Ole!
Part of me is surprised that more time didn't inexplicably pass. Just to mess with the tone even more. How is... You can't! The tone's a mess, Devilish, and you can't make it worse if it's already, like, unfoundable. I think we got a piece of alien fish art in the form of that rock. I feel like we saw a rock like that where they are, and I feel like we didn't have that before, but I don't know that for sure. That's really janky.
Time to see what all this
I, like,
is about.
clicked interact with an object that they set in a specific place, and the character model reaching proximity to that door caused an animation to trigger.
If you're reading this, then, well, it's because I'm not around to tell you myself. These are the remaining letters. I wonder what the recipients would think if you delivered them after all this time.
But that's a violation of the rules or something.
You may have to read them in order to figure out who that recipient is. As you can see, the addresses or names on the envelopes were damaged or obscured somehow. And don't worry about getting into trouble. According to paragraph 18.5 of the All-Water Delivery Handbook, in the event that the senior all-water post official, that was me, is incapacitated, they may designate a junior as delivery proxy. I hereby designate you. By the way, you can deliver them in the same order they're arranged in the box. I took the liberty of organizing them for maximum transit efficiency. Hope you enjoy this little taste of what I had so much fun doing. Now get those knees up high and deliver some joy.
So, like, this sounds like
Your
this would be
distant pal,
a fun turn of events in that slice of life hypothetical world that we don't live in. It feels like weirdly out of place in the game we're actually playing. Deliver a letter to Moreau. Now, hang on. If we have a letter that's obviously for Moreau, how would that have not been delivered to her? The ocean says if you organize them, then you know where they go. I think what he implied was that he organized them by the order that they were received, because he said something like you should order them, or you should deliver them in, like, the order they got here or something. But yeah, if he does know where they go... I mean, there was some discussion of bureaucracy. Maybe there was something in that... I mean, like, let's think about this. There was something he had said when he, like, first brought up this idea of, like, reading people's mail. That was like, if, like, delivery fails, like, the post office holds on to it for, like, 12 days or something. And in order to notify someone that a delivery had previously failed, like, you have to be able to reach them. And there was, like, some coincidence of, like, if it had failed once, it would necessarily fail again. It was, like, some bureaucracy thing. Deliver letter to Moreau. Cyrus and Moreau have history, like this letter. Time to deliver it to her. But, like, whatever. Let's see if it makes more sense after we do a couple. But I'm thinking no. It's like 12 to 20 people on this ship. That's not true. It's implied that there's more, and we never see them, and they don't matter.
But ambiently. This is not how I expected learning an alien language to go. Oh,
Dude, you invented a translator. You can't complain about the complexity of alien language.
I may imbibe the knowledge. Must test ingesting. It won't be poisonous first.
Professor, that's not how.
Oh, Harold, what did you say?
About the books. You don't really read them.
You, like, smell them and they electrocute a little bit.
Mind, not their physical state.
Whatever do you mean?
With these jellies, you have to be really calm. Empty your mind. Then you can get a sense
Harold's
of
the
what's
only
inside.
one who can read them.
So, you're saying it's a transcendental, meditative sense memory absorption process?
I'm not smart enough to know most of those words.
Here,
I'm Harold Halibut.
Let me show you.
Fascinating. Assuming you're not pranking me.
Dude, in their own cutscene, she got too close to the door and triggered it opening. What's going on?
Is there anything else you need help with?
No, but I bet Cyrus would appreciate a helping hand. Or some company, cooped up in that little room.
God, they so badly want me to talk to Cyrus, but he sucks.
Enjoy the jellies.
Also, we didn't give her a letter. Are you joking me? Find something to do is my task. Everyone is so busy at the moment, but they also don't need any help. What should I do? Gotta be something useful. Boy, if there isn't something that encapsulates this whole game, it might be this. Your task. I don't know, like, figure out what to do. Everyone's doing stuff, but you're not helpful. Come on. What is this? What's happening? Check out Cyrus. Maybe I should check if Cyrus needs some help or company with his start procedure. I mean, I guess we can't make it any worse. Or maybe we can. I don't know. But, like, for real, was our previous task not to deliver her a letter that we clearly did not deliver to her? Is the idea that you're supposed to solve... This is Moreau, right? I'm not misassociating?
Professor, I've got a bit of mail for you.
Super weird way to do that.
Just put it over there with the rest.
This one is kind of different.
And how do you know that exactly?
I'm delivering it for Buddy. It's from Cyrus, from a long time ago.
What? Give it here. Let me see.
To whom it may concern. That's you, Moreau. I'm writing to formally oppose your newly proposed archiving protocol. The Archiving Club has operated perfectly well for months using the Arundhati indexing protocol. Implementing a new one now will set back our archiving efforts considerably while we adapt to the new system and re-index the existing archives. Furthermore, I'm afraid if you continue to suspend working with the existing index in a misguided attempt to brute force your own way and to suddenly claim how much better it is as proof the ends justify the means, I may be forced to report this matter to the school council.
School
I look
council?
forward to resolving this matter amicably and returning once again to our concurrent archiving efforts.
So it just says, this changes
Orderly yours,
everything.
Cyrus.
Oi. That's what he thought. And he must have assumed I'd snubbed him at the time.
Surely he doesn't still remember that.
Well, either way, can you believe how long we've been carrying on this little grudge? Oy vey. We're still acting like kids.
So she's Jewish now? When did that happen? I mean, she
Thanks,
said oi
Harold.
earlier today, but I don't think she did at any previous
for bringing me
point.
this. It helped me realize it's time to put aside our differences. To accept
Man,
that
if
we'll
I
never
cared
see
all
eye to
about that
eye.
relationship, I
Maybe
might be
that's why we
excited.
achieved so much together.
Oh, cool. You and Cyrus are a great team.
That
I think
protocol
both of you
was
missed the
inefficient,
point.
though.
See you in a bit.
Now, is this a quest chain? Will it tell me the next letter to deliver? Pick up the next letter. So, yeah, we're just not going to get a satisfying explanation as to, like, why we know who to deliver things to and can now but couldn't before.
Let's see.
Completed. Pick up next letter. Deliver to Zoya, who is the captain. Just real quick, let me get the sample shelf down. We might need it later. Very good. Can't he just carry them? No, look at all the weird things in his pockets that he has to sit on while he's sleeping, because we're not changing that character model at all. Seems significantly older than Cyrus. I would say that's fair. Like, more than 1 decade older than Cyrus would be my guess, but I don't know for sure. So, do I want to see... I want to talk to Cyrus. Let's go talk to the captain. He's, like, weirdly codependent, and probably should be our best friend, especially now that the mailman died. So we have to go all the way to, like, Allwater, and then, like, take the weird secret door, I think. So central to, like, Allwater to there.
Relax with all water.
It probably shouldn't be a big deal. Oh my god, the aliens came on the ship. It probably shouldn't be a big deal, but it does, like, really annoy me, the lack of care given to... just giving, like, a general sense of how or why the tube system works. Because it gives me, like, very little idea of what the ship looks like or how it functions. And given that... that's... I don't know, like, the sci-fi aspect of this is one of the things that, like, most drew me to this game initially. Like, I don't know, like, that would be a cool thing that I could cling to, even if the story was what it is. Can I talk to them?
Hello there. Do you need any help with that?
Hi. Yes, this picture shows lots of tubes. Where do they all go?
They go to different places. Did you have somewhere specific in mind you wanted to go?
We're just exploring, but we don't want to end up anywhere bad.
Well, some areas of the ship are more fun than others, but nowhere is bad.
What about the crush chamber?
What's over in that part?
Oh, that's the Agora
Smashatorium.
Lots to do there. Have you checked it out already?
I think so. Do we need a new ticket to go somewhere else?
Probably.
Which ticket do you have already?
Oh, we don't.
So, how did you...
We had one.
So, what did you...
I gave it to another limb. They said we should check out the Castle Chop tube line.
Oh, to go to the energy district?
No, just to go through the tube line. Do you know if it's a fun line?
No, they're treating it
would
like a
just
ride.
recommend asking someone else. I'm not much of an expert.
Okay, thank you. See you around.
You haven't been very helpful, which is to be expected. Oh, hold on. Tubulim? Sure. Deliver to Zoya. No, Tubulim was just a drawing. Fair. Okay, fair. So I'll just leave you forever now. Says, imagine if you had to use that instead of biking. You mean if anytime you want to go anywhere you use tubes? That's also vaguely Futurama, but the tubes in Futurama kind of make sense. They're shown as being like a replacement for sidewalks. To clear, this is the endgame VIP door. Yeah, I have had that thought as well.
Location nominated.
It's weird though that we can like go to the like control room where the captain works and like there's something more important or meaningful than that. I guess it could be like the conspiracy chamber, although that feels like that would also be part of this hallway. Oh, now I have to push a button? I don't think that was that way before. I mean, it has a sign on it that I'm not sure if it was there before, but I thought this door just opened when you approached it. I still can't get past how ridiculous this is. And yet this game, like, doesn't seem to be a comedy most of the time. Unclear.
Ah.
Oh?
Sorry, Harold, you just startled me.
You can't have that reaction after I elevated you like 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
That's when you would be startled.
Everything is okay.
Everything is okay.
It's just that, you know, it's amazing that I can be a real captain if we take off. It'd be wow, but I kind of thought it wouldn't at all happen so fast. I've got a lot to learn.
Listen, the way things are going, we are in no danger of breaking atmosphere.
Is that usually what's going to happen is so unexpected, you may as well not think about it.
So,
boy, that sure is your life philosophy, huh?
Relax?
I guess so. It's also kind of like...
Is it bad that in basically all ways I'm rooting for this spaceship and its inhabitants to fail?
Like the ship?
Maybe don't forget that.
I jest, I think. Anyway, thanks for the advice.
Nope,
I'll
not
bear
advice.
it in mind. I'm going
not
to
a
get
lawyer.
back to my research about what all the controls do.
Good luck, Sawyer. You'll do great.
Because that conversation has no bearing on the plot, it feels weird to me that I have to go through that conversation to now have the option to do the quest advancing show him a letter conversation.
Zoya, I've got something for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also implied that several of these letters were like extremely old? It's weird that it's like all people we know.
Weird rules. Buddy wanted me to finally give it to you.
Okay. Odd, but let me take a look.
Our boy Zoya. We just wanted you to know how proud we are of you. Let me tell you a story about when I was a boy. I was listless, about to finish school. Of course, my papa was the original pilot of the Fedora. What a cool
job. The fifth pilot, said the subtitle.
What a thing to live up to. And I think I felt somehow ashamed he'd been at the helm when it crashed. So, I decided to do something totally different and get a job in the agricultural district. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't really know what there was to do. But as I looked after the animals, helping tend the crops, I stopped thinking so much about what I wanted to do. I just did. And as I was just doing, I grew up, I learned, I changed, and then, seemingly without any real effort, I felt ready to accept my place as captain.
What? That took a real left turn.
and I knew what I would do as a captain with no ship to fly. I had to help everyone else have the opportunity I did to grow at their own pace. Being a captain at large, or at small, means lots of things. You may not always be needed to pilot the ship physically through space, but your position is a symbol of hope, of good leadership, a living embodiment of the idea of using skill and courage to move forwards. Whatever the obstacles in front of you, your old Captain Dad.
Captain Dad.
Oh, Dad. I never knew. I always thought you never doubted your path in life.
Shall I leave you be?
No, it's okay, actually. You know, it's funny. You would think not knowing is scary, but now that I know I'm not the only one to have felt like that, it's actually liberating. And yeah, some things about my dad suddenly make sense now. Like all those weird job manuals he left lying around. I always thought he was trying to hint to me to start working, but I guess they were his way of understanding other routes through life. Thanks for this, Harold. I'm just gonna have to sit down. It's a lot to process.
Sure. Take your time, Captain at Large. I'll see you around. And good luck with everything.
Seems like the sort of thing you might have, like, a conversation about, or you would just, like, leave the letter for him rather than, like, send it through the mail or whatever. Yeah, Tim just says, they never talked? Yeah, maybe. Doesn't seem like the weirdest thing this game has suggested. Now we know what Fedora means. Federation of Residents in Airspace. I didn't pay close attention to it, but I did see Fedora written at the bottom. Weird forced acronym. Sci-fi loves those. I'm not hugely opposed, but not the funnest or cleanest one I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not entirely sure any, like, 2 residents on the Fedora have ever spoken, to be honest with you.
All water. Moving people every day.
Backronym. Is backronym the name for that? What's the name for the one where, like, it is an acronym where, like, the first letter is also the word of the acronym? Is that, like, recursive acronym, or is it something more complicated than that? Can I talk to the aliens again? No, I've already made it clear to them that I am useless to them as a resource and a character. So I want to go back to the lab district to get a new letter.
All water. We get you where you're going.
It's conceptually strange to me to create this sort of convoluted tube system as a means of, like, video game shortcutting, right? Like, it's meant to make it more convenient to traverse the large spaceship. But at the same time, it's actually not that convenient and not for any particular given purpose we're aware of. Like, if there was a central hub from which you could use the tube to get to all levels of the ship, like, not only would that make more sense logistically in terms of engineering a ship/habitat, but, like, it would also make the game more reasonable. So, like, in my mind, the only reason to choose not to do that is because there's, like, a story reason not to. And I'm guessing from that weird glimpse of the, like, super busted up spaceship that's, like, a bunch of detached parts or whatever, that, like, that's the idea. But, like, that's never spoken or made directly clear. It's only from, like, random supposition of a confusing image the game presents, like, halfway or some amount through it that I can even hazard a guess at that. But, like, it doesn't necessarily feel like that's plot relevant, like that's going to contribute to a greater understanding of how the story plays out. So I would still sort of maintain it makes more sense to just have one central tube.
Righto. Time for the next letter.
All the lighting glitches really need to be fixed. They're definitely something.
Tommy. Wow.
I'm guessing the next one goes to Tommy, who I think is the teacher I don't like. Deliver a letter to Bridget. Should deliver Tommy's letter to Bridget. Okay, so it's from him, not to him. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's to. And also from. Both are sort of relevant. Do you figure out the jelly?
Hello, Moreau.
Hello, my boy.
Goodbye, Moreau. Did she put away the sample shelf? That's so rude of her. Super not talking to Cyrus. He did, like, electrocute me for fun and not profit, which definitely cements him as not a cool dude. So I need the energy district, because I'm delivering to her, not to
Travel in style with all water.
Not really anything stylish about being, like, flushed like a toilet, I don't think.
Unsatisfactory journey for some reason?
Yeah, you just flushed me down a toilet.
Your nearest one, and all water will make it up to you.
Commences in 3.
Hey. Forget this guy's name.
Hey, Slip.
Hey, Harold!
Everything okay?
Oh, sure. Just putting the finishing touches to the all-important relaunch procedure. Basically, all on my own, with no one to help me, just like always. Old
You
Slippy
made
with
the
world
pitch.
on his shoulders.
I'm sure you're doing great.
Yeah, I'm making the coolant procedure more efficient than ever. It's going to be able to cover a lot of ground. Like me.
But there's
Gotta
no
stay
ground
cool,
because we're underwater.
even
Skull
no one
joke?
is ever around to help.
How about I give you a hand?
Ah, why
No,
would
what are
you
you
say
doing? Don't touch that.
But I thought you said... Never mind. I'll leave you to it.
That would be
that?
really
He
great.
looks like genuinely disturbed we'd even suggest that, which is kind of funny. It would be sort of funny if we agreed to help him and we broke it. So where is Bridget? Do we know where their, like, house is? I guess she could be at the shop that her husband runs, but, like, I don't have any particular reason to know that. She's not in there, so even the fact that he's, like, blocking the entrance doesn't change that. Do not look at the nozzle. The nozzle is calibrating. So, for him, I have to go to the arcade. By him, I mean her husband, assuming maybe that's where she's at.
System journey. You've arrived. Have you checked your pockets before leaving?
So there's a little umbrella on that thing. Think so. Hello?
Hey, look who it is!
Huh? Who's there?
Oh my god, Harold,
silly.
for God's sake.
You heard rumors of the irresistible new Soleil sweets, eh?
Hmm? You mean these cupcakes? Wow, they're really colorful.
Yes, they're full of that sunny cheer.
I think some of them are actually just potted
I'll
cactuses.
try one. What's your best
Slash
seller?
cacti.
Well, that's very relative.
What do you mean?
So
They're
I
all
sold,
related.
like, 10 Starburst Royales at the start, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time until word of mouth gets around.
Oh, I'm sure
They might be
business will pick
horrible.
up. They're certainly eye-catching enough.
I tell you what it is, Harry. It's water wieners. He's got the best spot, and I guess no one feels like a cupcake after a wiener.
No, I suppose that doesn't sound like an
on.
appetizing combo.
I just
Wrote
feel
this
like,
game.
you know, Fedorans need a change and a little color in their lives. And I bet the Flumilim would love a chance to try water wieners.
That's a good idea. Have you suggested it to him?
Hang on now.
No,
We've
I
been
mean,
disrespectful enough
I
to their
don't want it to
culture.
think
We
the
shouldn't subject them
competition
to water
isn't friendly.
weeders.
But if a neutral third party was to suggest it to him, then who knows?
No, I'm no good at...
Come on, Harry, please. It'll be good for him. Good for me. The Flumilim will love it. Just
Plant the seed.
I really don't like that word choice given this
for all
bizarre
time's sake.
conversation we're having.
Well, I am peckish, and if the topic comes up, I do like the cave, so...
Ah, I knew I could count on you. Here, have a complimentary Starburst Royale as a little thank you.
That's one of the
Thanks, Sonny.
cactuses. Was it implied that he ate it? It looked like he took a bite that obviously for animation restrictions we did not see happen. But it looked like he took a bite and then silently gave no reaction to her, which is not great. Yeah, what could go wrong with a watery wiener demolition? It seems totally fine.
I was talking about wieners.
It's really worth reinstalling that. Hey, buddy. Want to talk about wieners with me?
Hi there.
Welcome to Warren's Water Wieners. What will we be wanting?
What do you recommend?
Water
Well,
wieners.
I'm
It's the thing
personally
I said.
partial to the toasted seaweed wurst, but the sizzling tofu dog is amazing too.
Oh, they both sound great. I bet the Flumalim love the seaweed one, huh?
Yes, I imagine they would.
I'll take a seaweed wurst, I think.
A fine choice.
So, business is good?
I certainly can't complain.
Glad to hear it.
I'm incapable because of the chip
I've
they
been
put in my
looking forward
brain.
to this. I've been in the cave. Very hungry. Not much fast food there.
Oh, really?
Food is very slow.
Well,
All the fish are
this
in
is
bubbles.
worth the
Very
wait.
inconvenient.
Sure it will be. I almost feel bad for those in the cave who can't easily have some wurst.
No, that's nice
Storm
of
and
you.
Norman, this makes me
Yeah,
angry.
I mean, the cave
There's
really
no
would
hope
be
that a human
great
being will
business
understand that
opportunity.
reference, but I made it
If
anyway.
I could cook, I'd open a wurst stand there myself.
What the heck
Should
was that?
learn.
Just like
It's
walked
very
through our
rewarding.
conversation.
Here, it's ready. Tuck in.
Thanks.
No, I'd rather not tuck your wiener,
Either
sir.
way, have you been to the cave?
I made a quick visit. It was great.
Okay. Well, I'll be getting back.
To the cave with all the slow
Could you do
food.
me a favor and try one of...
Hang on. Did you say, do me a flavor?
No, actually, I said...
Do you a new flavor? I bet they have some pretty unique ingredients in the cave. I could even invent new relishes or entire new wiener recipes. You've given me a crazy idea.
Really?
Yes, I'll move to the cave. It's a great business and creative opportunity for water wieners. Maybe I'll finally be able to achieve my dream of a wiener that
Full
catches
stop.
the essence of new horizons.
Nah, Sense is a lot funnier if you just ended
You
after
should
wiener.
totally go for it. Guess I'll see you there, Warren.
Thank you again. I owe you a free wiener.
I'm not gonna redeem that. Fun fact, that's where my screen name came from, more or less, was misunderstanding what someone had written. I was in a forum for the old pirate constructible shipbuilding game that I love so much, Pirates of the Spanish Main, and I believe someone's like signature in that forum back in the era where that was like a thing that happened, pre-Reddit. I think they had like a quote attributed to VascoDaGamer, and like because I was like on a forum about games, my brain just like corrected it to like VascoDaGamer, and I was like, dang, that's a good screen name. I wish I'd thought of that first. And then I checked, and that wasn't the guy's screen name. And I'm like, that's a good screen name. That's mine now. Although I occasionally get competition from Brazilian people who really like soccer. Is that a game? Yeah, Pirates of the Spanish Main is a sweet game that like doesn't really exist anymore. But like they had like booster packs made of like randomized like plastic cards, and you would like punch out components of ships and sort of bend and tab them into the shape of little pirate ships. And then there's a little D6 based game that you would play with them, navigating between cardboard islands to collect treasure and blow up opponents. Super good. It did have a digital version that is like super duper not supported anymore. And I played about as much of it as I could manage back in college during the period of time that it existed. And nothing has ever blue screened a computer as often as that software. Like, pretty reliably multiple times a day if I would try to play the Pirates of the Spanish Main online for like a couple hours, it would like blue screen my computer entirely more than once. There's some flumelums up there.
This dark liquid is so hot. Are you sure we're supposed to drink it? Yes, that's what they told me. They said it's not nice cold, but not to have too much at once. How much is too much? They didn't say. But I think this is our 5th cup, and I feel great. Yes, I do feel like it's giving me lots of energy. Tastes of minerals and steam. I wonder if we're at too much yet.
There's something genuinely amusing to me about the intensity at which those two were speaking about this. It seemed like every line of dialogue one of them delivered, they were like angrier and more intense about this basic conversation. It's true that board games and card games are hard to stream. It may be possible that after the move, I'll be able to like dedicate a table and like try to figure out a way to like rig an overhead camera, but like I don't really have like the supplies for that handy. It would be nice to have that option, so like it's at least something I could try to explore, having more space than this miserable apartment. But like I wouldn't count on it, because as Letter says, it is quite challenging.
Hi there. I'm really sorry I couldn't help it over here. Are you on your 5th cup of coffee?
Does Paula Deming have a stream where she like
Do you know how much too much
tells you how to do that?
Yes, I would probably stop now. You might feel a bit tired soon, by the way, and you won't be able to sleep, and you will just feel like more coffee, but you should try not to have
I thought they were
more.
talking about the fish soup, and I was confused.
Okay. That's interesting. It's making me feel like I can taste the music I heard earlier.
Skittles, taste the music.
I would start drinking water now.
Why would anyone make such a confusing and complicated drink?
Well, humans have this strange urge to make things that are very nice if you only have 1 or 2 of them. I suppose we like to test our willpower.
That's not
is
really
it
it
supposed
at
to
all.
make you feel that everyone is walking through water?
It's so strange to me that, like, repeatedly through the course of this game, characters make the assumption that, like, the flumelim fish anatomy functions more or less identically to human anatomy. And as far as we've seen so far, it, like, pretty much always is true. Like, I guess maybe that leads credence to the possibility that we're having a Planet of the Apes with fish type situation. So she has a little cheap bending arm to mount her cell phone on. Used it for spell table once or twice. Yeah, my current spell table setup is very sad and depressing. I don't have very much space to set it up. So I just take a playmat tube and put my old streaming web camera on top of it and angle it badly and point it directly down at the tiny desk I have space to do spell table while still connected to a computer. It doesn't work very good, but it gets the job done. Well, it doesn't give instructions, but she streams board games almost exclusively and has it figured out. The trick about that is, unless someone talks about it or deliberately shows it, watching an effective stream setup will actually rarely tell you how the stream setup was made to be effective, unless you kind of already know how it works or have an idea that's close to how that works. Because, like, by its nature, you don't typically see what's behind the camera. To do. Oh yeah, I should talk to Cupcake Lady. I was very confused about this exchange because I thought they were talking about the fish soup from the fish soup stand over there. Do you have dialogue? We talk to this person?
Hi there.
What happening? What can I get you?
That's not your accent.
I know that feel. I don't know whether to carry on. Now there be cupcakes moving in on my turf.
I don't think they're in direct competition with you.
Are you sure anyone is eating them? And not instead of fish, right?
Maybe. But man, there can be no more new restaurants opening, please. And anyway, look at them cupcakes. They're even more bright and weird looking than the colored fish soups.
Well, that's true. Anyway, best of luck.
You don't want some fish?
Not right now, I'm afraid. But don't worry, I don't want anything from anywhere else either.
Okay, man. See you
Didn't
around.
we just get a wet wiener? I regret asking that question in the literal and contextually accurate way. Before I forget why I actually came here. Seamless transition inside here with the door.
This is a package of gentlemen's grooming essentials.
Oh, come on.
Inspired by
Freezing.
my grandpappy,
Are we not
who
doing
was
freezing
always
anymore?
So well turned out.
What's this?
This is stationery. Finest materials from the artisans district.
What is stationery for?
Well, you can
Well,
use
she's
it to
not
write
here,
stuff
but I'm vaguely
down,
curious
like
about
a
this
letter to a
conversation.
friend, or notes, or a story to yourself. Like, I use mine as a decision diary, journaling why I do the stuff I do, what I was feeling at the time. You know, it makes for interesting reading when you look back at it.
What's this?
Now this is what I call the filter fascinator. It's an unusual piece of calcified ocean debris, but it's nice and shiny, right? I figure it would look great as an accessory.
For an action figure?
What are this?
Oof.
What are this? Great question. Asked correctly.
Tommy, you got a second?
Yes, I definitely do.
The Flumelum are a curious bunch, right?
For sure they are.
Rude.
I've been explaining the origin, materials, use, and who knows what else to this Flumelum for like an hour.
Are they buying anything?
Some of them have, yeah.
With
and it's
what?
never the thing I expect them to. And it's rarely things it seems they can actually use, like beard wax.
That's fun. But hang on, what are they paying with?
Mostly just using our standard credits. I
That's
think
confusing.
Allwater gave them all some as payment for helping with the tube system. Sometimes we barter, though. I'll be selling fish folk curiosities soon.
Sounds like a good system. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Harold, no, don't leave me alone. I need a break.
You'll do fine, Tommy. Hang in there.
Okay, I hate you. Bye-bye. Seamless transition. Demonstration points out that statue would add a lot of weight to the ship. I mean, yeah. Ostensibly, it started as a spaceship and we're submerged in water, but like, yeah, to some extent, sure.
Well, did you manage to convince him?
Yeah, somehow. I actually did. I think. Either way, he'll be going to the cave soon.
You're the best!
He'll be experiencing the allegory
that
of the
tomorrow these
cave.
little beauties will be flying off the cart.
I hope so.
But don't worry, I'll save one for you.
No. I mean, no, that's okay.
So it was supposed to be implied that he ate that one and did not like it?
Look at you being all noble. Thanks again, Harry. See you soon. For
Still-
now, I've got to get started on the biggest batch of Moonlight Rainbow ever.
I'm still, like, wildly unclear. No, I would like to know about this trophy. It was just for having those two conversations. Cool. It's still wildly unclear to me what the nature of their relationship is supposed to be. I mean, I think it's reasonably clearly implied that they used to date. I don't know if either one of them is trying to rekindle that. The way they communicate with each other is not helpful. Yeah, the food vendor arc. It's maybe the most productive story arc we've had so far, so take that for what it's worth. If I ever had a bad cupcake, at least one in our family consumer sciences / home ec class, I used the wrong kind of sugar making cupcakes, and it was not good. I'm not good at food, and I don't like food. You probably know both these things about me already. I used granulated sugar in a cupcake. And you know what happens when you do that? You sure taste the grain. Skittles taste the grainbow. Okay, so where am I going now? I want to deliver that letter and not talk to Cyrus. So let me actually check my... no additional to-dos, huh? Where would Bridget be if not one of these places I've been already? I could try checking on Cyrus and see if they're inexplicably talking to each other. I'm gonna stop in the social district, though.
Enjoy the view.
Because I don't know if you know this, I don't want to talk to Cyrus. He sucks. A game with mostly bad characters. For some reason, he especially rubs me the wrong way.
Please exit the tube in an orderly manner.
It's surprising how many narrative-based video games have, like, a majority of characters I don't like.
52, 53.
Aruha.
Oh,
I like that it bothered to translate that noise.
Work out what is. Whoa. How many can you do?
It's rude of you to do that without asking me
Why?
first. I feel like
How long have you been
I
training
should
for?
consent
Sure.
to this.
Do this to relax sometimes.
Okay, fine. Are you on
There's
some
our
kind of special
thumbnail.
diet?
Just eat whatever. Oh, are you asking why I can do these exercises?
Yeah, but I'm just curious, that's all. I could probably do those too.
The key is to do them whenever you need to relax.
Oh, brother.
No trophy for that? She says, with all the doodling Harold does, you think he'd be better at it by now? No, you don't think this gets the point entirely across? I'm kind of surprised that the cupcake drawing doesn't demonstrate the fact that it's implied that he did not enjoy his cupcake.
How are you feeling about the exchange, Chris?
Oh yeah, it's fantastico!
This guy just seems so ungenuine.
For the
It
station
annoys
jog.
me.
Lots of new learning opportunities for the Bambinos, and no Jesus jokes. It's
What?
perfect having them all on board.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Tell me what that means. What does he mean when he says no Jesus jokes? And also, like, there are complicated theological implications to suddenly including Jesus in this canon. I don't know what that means. Haggis, welcome to the stream and congratulations on being a married individual. Good evening, just got back from the wedding. Wild to think that I remember watching this stream and or the Renegade Constabulary with my now ex-girlfriend's house. Oh, I don't think I had that context. Now I'm married to the love of my life. I'm still happy to tune in whenever I can. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Haggis. Thank you for the 77-month resub. Much appreciated. Have one of these ones. Bang. We're playing Harold Halibut. I won't bother recapping. It won't help you understand the game. But Jesus exists now. That's fun. There's not that much ship. Where did the lady go that I need to deliver this letter to? Jesus always exists. I guess sometimes he's just carrying me through the sand. That's true. I just kind of thought that this was a heathen planet of, like, flying crotch fish. I do appreciate the disco ball there. Last night at the Sophie Ellis-Bextor concert was, I believe, the first time I've ever properly seen a disco ball used, and I appreciated it. I mean, I guess I have to go see Cyrus, because I don't know where to find Bridget. Unless someone can think of where I should find Bridget, which, like, I assume isn't true. Really figured Agora Arcades was my best second shot after failing to find her at Energy District.
Destination selected. Have a pleasant journey and a fantastic day.
Agnes says, I remember when he walked by my side on the beach, but when I looked back, there were 3 sets of footprints? That was weird.
Thank you on behalf of the All
Perhaps the Flumelin were there.
for choosing to travel with us today.
The Flumelin are the flying crotch fish people. Maybe she's in the bathroom. Maybe she's in that weird place we saw Cyrus one time, but have never gone back to for any actual purpose. assuming Cyrus is still in that weird little shed we left him in, because he wasn't in the place where we, like, either of the places we had previously encountered him. Yeah, there he is. I hate the weird corners you can get stuck on.
Sai? I guess I
Just
should
have the entire conversation while she's on the can.
Harold.
We kind of already did
Didn't
that.
see you there.
Kind of.
Oh, no worries. You must
The
be
surveillance
concentrating.
thing?
Yes, can't stop concentrating.
It's a
Can't
real
make
problem. I
mistake.
should drink more coffee or
There's
something.
still a mistake somewhere. The simulation still isn't 100% reliable, and it's driving me nuts.
Is there anything else I can do to help?
Did you try reversing the
Give me a back
polarity?
rub.
Sai, you know I would, but knowing my clumsiness, I'd give you a trapped nerve and you won't be able to work anymore.
Yes, yes.
I've read that as walk anymore, and
for
I
the
also
best.
believe he could do that.
Just wish me luck then.
Good luck.
Graphics are much
See you
more
soon.
uncanny than you expected. You are familiar with the concept then, the stop-motion animated sci-fi game that has no plot. Oh, hang on, we made a doodle of Cyrus in his room. I don't 100% know what the top... Oh, I guess that's supposed to be our bedroom next to the lab, and he's... I wouldn't say my impression is that our bedroom is like directly above him the way this is depicted. I like that Harold is so simple of a character that when he tries to depict this guy working on like calculations to make the spaceship work, it's a slanted piece of paper that says 2 times 1 times y3? Or is it supposed to be 2 times 1x over 3? I don't know. It's ridiculous. The point is ridiculous. There is a gym button, which like... Oh wow, it actually works better in the small room. Normally, if you're like out in the hall, the camera zooms out, but then like compensates. This is like Ardman with a lot of frame interpolation. I'm not smart enough to know what that word is. I also don't know what Ardman is. This is the filtration station. She almost definitely not in here, but I guess I can't not go because I'm already here. She is not, however, here. Do you think she's on the can now? Oh, Ardman is the name of the company who did Wallace and Gromit? I should know that. Didn't, though. You know what I've never played? Telltale did a Wallace and Gromit game, didn't they? I should do that this year. While we're waiting for, like, Sam & Max 3 to get remastered. Where's this lady? Is she in the TV room? I guess we could try that. We've tried, like, most reasonable places to find... Oh, no. You know where she is? You know where she is. She's, like, hanging out outside the crack. She's just still at the crack, even though a day passed. Surely. So I gotta go to Central.
Destination determined. Now, relax with all water.
I probably should have been able to intuit that. It just seems like her job has always been energy room.
Thank you for choosing.
Kind of just assumed that she was still trying to launch the ship instead of, like, enjoy the crack. Honest to God, like, I'm not trying to make this sound, like, nasty, but a lot of the word choice in this game makes stuff nasty, if you know what I mean.
Location nominated. Journey commencing.
I was talking about wieners.
Wet wieners. Actual concept in this game.
Thank you for traveling with all water.
Can't believe they bothered to, like, make a speaker so it would say that. I'm not talking to that guy. The game wouldn't clear my old objective and... Oh, I'll talk to you, though, about wieners.
Ah, Harold.
Hey, Warren. How are you finding the cave?
It's
Wet.
brilliant.
Wet like my
the
wiener.
Tourists are loving water wieners, and the Fluilum have started to introduce me to some wowzer new ingredients they have here.
Ah, I knew you'd be a hit.
And just think, I might never have come if I hadn't had the idea while I was serving you.
Yes, that was a real coincidence.
No one was responsible. Demolition, did you just attempt to gift me Wallace and Gromit? I'm not actually sure if... I have to check if I own it. When Telltale went out of business, I did try to buy as many of those games as I could because I wasn't sure if they would still be on sale. I genuinely don't remember if I have that because there were some that were not available at that time. And I think most of them have become available again after the like fire sale of the company assets. I appreciate the sentiment. I'll have to check on that. Thank you. Not the intention, was just like literally thinking out loud that like we played Sam & Max as a Telltale game I haven't played.
The concept of beluga with a little to demo for good measure is equivalent to the human idea of existential humanism.
How does that go?
Eve, you're the Sartre expert. Existentialism posits that humans, or formula, I suppose, exist before they are defined. The humanism part basically means we should focus on ourselves. That there is no predetermined way or form we should take. So we should find our own path.
Ooh. So, if you combined Tidemo, Lugalugalogal, and exahumial essentialism, you would have a good plan to deliberately not rush to be happy wherever yourself is.
Is this what the theme of the game is supposed to be?
Excellent.
I think I hate it.
Call this new idea composite.
Maybe we could just sing it.
Yes, perhaps it is better expressed artistically. Existential who demoism doesn't really roll off the tongue.
I think we should explain it by making some nice splashes in the pond.
I mean, not a particularly expressive concept.
Write it in the air.
Okay, now I want to know how you conceptualize music theory.
What a hard left turn for that conversation.
If I understand correctly.
Like it says, don't think you own it, at least not at Steam. I might have it on PlayStation. I don't think I do. I think most of the stuff I tried to buy was through Steam. I don't think I bought anything on GOG at that time. I should just go to the crack. Or maybe talk to the rude constable. Do I really want a plotline with that guy? He kind of sucks. Knockoff of Good Place Cheaty. I guess. The Flume are like way more enlightened than us. They're a little annoying, but only in the way that this entire game is like annoying with its pace and like weird laissez-faire attitude. We sure built a whole
Kids, concentrate,
thing on this
please.
crack.
I am, but this stuff is boring.
Yeah, shut up.
Hey there, Bridget.
Right. Okay. Yes. Kids, don't let me down. Harold, let's go. Lots to do. Gotta do it. Harold?
Yes. What?
There's much to be done. The workstation is going to need a depth gauge. We'll probably need tubing of various sorts. Sonar for the... And of course, thermometer. We'll need a barometer, naturally.
You're gonna need to give like
And we'll need
some
the
amount of
computer
actual
components to tie it
instruction
all
here.
together.
You want me to find all of that?
What? No, don't be silly. I'm not a monster. I've got the kids helping. It's all under control.
That sounds
So is
inaccurate.
there anything I can do?
Gee, I mean...
If we're not meant to help, why did you go into
I guess
any
you
of
could
that?
help me plug in the cables?
Great. Let me take a look.
Hey, are you working back there? I'm watching, you know. I've got eyes in the back of my head.
I hope we get an animation of like the Death Star explosion when he plugs something in. That the animation of this is so goofy. I love that there's a that kind of looks like a start button down there, but it has a band-aid with a frowny face and an X on it, which is pretty good. I mean, I assume I just like actually have to
Don't get
rotate it?
discouraged. I believe in you.
Oh no, this is more like this shape.
Okay, there's one done.
Great. Keep up the good work.
This doesn't really give me a great... I'm assuming it's like this?
That makes two.
This is kind of like a... It kind of looks like a big plus sign. I don't feel like this is a close match to anything that I can see. Maybe it's this top left thing, and the thing very close to me is that little divot there, and the rest of it is the shape.
All good so
This is most likely this square thing. This is vaguely possible it's one of those X's, but I'm gonna assume
Thanks,
that's one
Harold.
big plug.
You're saving my bag.
This doesn't look like anything to me. Is it supposed to be an individual X? No, it's a circle? But I don't have a thing? I don't have that.
That's you.
Are you
Hey,
okay
buddy?
down there, Harold?
I don't
Sorry,
have
Bridget.
that.
One of the cables doesn't seem to fit properly. Oh, hey there, Tommy.
Hey, Harold. Don't mind me.
I mind
We
you
won't.
terribly.
Anyway, what does that mean for us, Harold?
It means we're missing an adapter.
I think it means you just have
It
the
means
wrong
my
cable. Why'd you
inventory
bring
isn't
it?
accurate. Tommy, I really hope the adapter wasn't in that last lot of stuff you made me throw away.
Bridge, I didn't make you throw anything away. I just gently
I should have made
suggested you
a joke
might wanna
about
rationalize.
it going in the square
Yes,
hole.
but I'm not going to feel very rational if we can't find it because of your
I
gentle
do love that
suggestion.
video.
Look,
It's
I'm sure
very
it's still
stupid.
lying around somewhere in the energy harvest.
Square
Harold,
goes
could you
in
check there
the
for me,
square
please?
hole.
It's where I packed
The
everything
archway
up, so
goes
it's our
in.
best bet.
Sure. I'll
That's
head over.
right, the square
Positive
hole.
attitude. Love it. Oh, while you're there, actually, we've been having some connection issues with the data transfers.
Well, it's because you didn't plug
Packet
anything
loss
in.
and
It's
the
called an
like.
air gap.
Could you look into setting up a better connection?
I can try. It's not really my area of expertise.
Where's that positive attitude gone? But maybe you're right. Perhaps you could get Rafi to help?
I'll ask them. I'll let you know ASAP.
Great. Good luck.
Cool. See you, Tommy.
Laters.
I have to deliver a letter. I'm not done here. Stop it. No, stop it.
Hey, Bridget. I've got a letter for you.
What? Why?
Oh, it's a long story. Just... Buddy asked me to, okay?
Oh, he did a doodle of
If
the
it's
child
kosher with
labor.
Buddy, it's all right by me. Let me see that.
Dearest, brightest Bridget, thank you for your letter. I understand. Honestly, I do. But I have to write you this letter anyway. One last appeal. I will give you space. As much space as you need to grow into whatever beautiful flower you need to be, in whichever way you need to bend towards the sun, and my love will burn as bright. But I know it will not be what you grow towards. It will just be there. But of course, ultimately this is your decision. My declaration of love is not a question. It's just there. Like the fish in the sea that don't even know they're in the sea. It exists without knowing why or needing anything else. And I will be happy to love you, whatever comes next. Just let me know if you decide to have this love next to you, while your own self-love grows too.
Gross.
Tommy.
Huh. He took it well after all.
You changed your mind?
You read this?
It wasn't
I
even
had
in
to
an
just look
envelope.
to know who to deliver it to. The front was all blurred. Maybe Tommy got too many tears on it.
It's okay, Harold. This is old news, eh?
Then why were you
And
mad?
It all worked out. I came to realize a few things about love myself, and told him we could try being together, but apart. Not too much the same person, you know?
So he maybe
I don't
thought
think I
his
liked
letter
you.
had helped?
That would help explain why he never stopped so much with the grand gestures.
I suppose so. Will you tell him?
I think I will. You're never too old to learn something new about love.
We should take a look at that sketch of the child labor. There it is. Sure looks like she's yelling at them with the megaphone, I guess. Cool. Like it says, unironically, despite looking stop motion, it's actually really expressive, realistic animation. It is, there's some rough edges, which you would expect from trying to, like, make it into a video game, because, you know, animation loops for certain things. Details of that nature. I don't know if you've joined us for any of the previous segments. The writing and the characterization is unfortunately not a strong suit, so it undercuts the coolness of the stop motion, which was one of the big factors that made me want to try it, because that seemed really cool. And I do generally appreciate it, and there's a lot of creativity in, like, the alien models and things like that, but, like, it is hard for someone like me not to get lost in the weeds of some of the logical inconsistencies and confusing character motivations and whatnot. Ocean says, again, how did he organize these without reading? Or how can it be organized if you always return to the same room? I mean, like, I think we all just have to let go any attempt to logically understand the letters thing. The letters just need to be part of the game if you care about this subquest. They just need it desperately. Like, I truly don't think we thought it through at all. We tried to cover it up by making, like, kind of a joke about bureaucracy in the beginning, but it, like, didn't totally take, and it doesn't, like, actually make logical sense, and we just, like... it just doesn't work, man. Okay, so Raffi's supposed to help us make the internet connection go fast. Find the missing adapter. It's probably wanted energy harvest. Okay, I think I had talked over that part of the conversation, and that is what I was missing. Don't I need... Pick up the next letter. Great. Look at these children slacking off instead of, like, tolling away in the crack mine. And even just, like, the walking animation, like, pretty fluid. There's like, a couple of, like, joint things, mostly in, like, the legs that can look weird if you pay close attention to them. The children yearn for the mines. So true. Always saying that about children. For some reason, people don't like me being around children. I'm just trying to provide them the structure and opportunity that they crave.
All water. Moving people.
Watch as we go down in order to go up the tube. Science. Like, even if we had made the default to always go up, I feel like it naturally makes more sense in various ways.
You're welcome.
Like, setting aside the fact that, like, always having him go in one direction makes it seem like there's not a continuous, like, link between the various parts of the ship or whatever. So, I should check the energy district, but let me get a letter first in case it happens to be for Slippy. My mom says she likes me being around children. Yeah, but that spoils the joke and also makes it real.
All water. We get you where you're going.
I do occasionally spend time with my niece and nephew. Not sure if that's a great idea. Mostly just because, like, you know how weird I am. I wouldn't say I'm a bad influence. I would say I'm a weird influence. I'll just start saying things like, touch your face, $5. Who knows what effect that has on children? When did I come here? Alright, I just, like, absentmindedly came down here because that's what I was doing before. But what I want to do is go to my bedroom to get another creepy letter. Letter. Watch as he triggers the door again.
Okay. Letter time.
I'm kind of invested in this quest, mostly just because, like, it's an actual thing to do that has, like, a cause and effect nature to it. Like, it's not that I'm, like, super compelled by any of the characters involved. Oh, the next letter is for Raffi. I'm very glad that I did this in the correct order, because otherwise I would have to see Raffi a second time, which would be at least mildly annoying. But I can do it all in one. As much as I like the running joke of always pressing that switch instead of simply walking through the door, it does take kind of a lot of time. Man, time in this game passes so weird, both narratively and literally. I must go to the arcade.
Travel in style with all water.
Do children also yearn for the arcades? They can get cupcakes that may or may not be like actual tiny cactuses.
Unsatisfactory journey for some reason? Just contact your nearest... and all water will make it up to you.
I need to talk to her again today. I think I don't, but...
Hey there, Sonny.
Oh, Harold!
That's more or less the conversation I expect to have trying to talk to a woman. Or just being like, oh, you're here. Please don't be. Hello, Raffi. Intercom
Rafi?
oasis.
Have you got a minute?
Put your camel to bed.
Probably. Hang on.
I have a favor to ask you.
They said hang on.
We need a better connection in the cave. The workstation. It's really important.
The cave?
Yeah. We're trying
Cave's
to
a
mount
great
an
game, by the
expedition
way.
into the crack.
Sounds fun, but not for me.
I know it
Again,
sounds difficult,
expedition
but
into the
it'd really
crack.
be a
Not
big
my
help to
turn of
everyone.
phrase. The game just says it.
It'll just be like last time.
What was the last time?
Oh, he didn't tell you.
You told him
who told
enough.
me
He
what?
told me you killed him.
Slippy. He asked me to help him with this ski machine.
And?
I helped. Things didn't work fast enough. He got angry. Shouted. So now I don't do tech help.
Oh,
Neat.
I'm sorry.
Cool
It
story.
really won't be like that with Bridget, though. And
I'm happy here. Got my cabinets and tunes. Sorry.
okay, I tried.
Maybe the nature
See
of
you,
the letter
Rafi.
will force their hand. And if so, it's not even an optional side quest at that point. It's mandatory.
Oh, Rafi, I have something for you.
Catch you later, Haggis.
I have to take it?
No, I mean, it's kind of official, but not urgent.
Okay, I'll take it.
Please find below an addendum to your formal offer letter. We realise that the initial contract that agreed to your counter-demands, namely 1. A 100-year period of confidentiality surrounding your work for All Water Corporation. 2. To be credited as the Master of Circuitry. 3. To not be interrupted, talked to, messaged, or otherwise contacted in any way while in the pursuance of your duties for All Water Corporation. Was signed prematurely by an AW employee with insufficient security clearance to grant this request. And so we must formally request you terminate the contract in order that we may renegotiate your demands for the period therein, given it may behoove All Water Corporation for some reason to be able to publicly acclaim our engagement of your Raffi Zelter's services. Compromisingly yours, Sander Inasto, All Water Head of Recruitment.
Did you...
Well, I had to just to see who...
Not a word about this to anyone.
My lips are sealed.
Are we going to blackmail them? Is that how this works? I'm invading your space and interrupting your work and talking to you. You gonna do something about it? Well, that was a pointless interlude. For some reason, I thought that whole wall was a door, but it not.
Psst. Harold.
All right.
Hey, Felix.
Wait, did you follow
What's
us up here?
The
He's
password
downstairs.
is flatfish.
Oh, okay.
The password what?
Don't
No, I know what that means.
tell anyone. And don't be late.
Well, you have to tell me what time to be there.
Late for what? Where? Felix!
Man, can you imagine if you didn't know what he was talking about? It'd be an annoying bit of advancing the game. We'll pick up the next letter just in case it's to the kid. Like the Raffi thing worked out. In case you don't remember, because this is spaced over weeks and the slowest paced game in the world, in the utility district, where the post office is, there's like a mysterious door that when you knock on it, someone prompts you for a password. And up till now, we haven't been able to do anything with it. Now, it's also worth noting that in the utility district, there's a pharmacy that's supposed to be run by the woman selling cupcakes. I feel like people need a pharmacy, so I don't know what's going on there. Lab district.
Destination
And this time I won't randomly go
We
downstairs.
hope you enjoy your all-water tube system journey.
What material do you think their clothes are made of that rapidly get dry from all the all-water tube
You've
garbage?
arrived. Have you checked your pockets before leaving?
That, mind you, was also in-game weeks ago. That's an excellent point and observation. It's probably closer to like an in-game month ago, given how many like rapid-fire montages have occurred over this and the last session of us playing the game. It'd be kind of funny if, like, for this chapter in particular, if, like, there was a flag in the game that each time you completed delivering a letter, the thing she was working on changed and just got, like, more and more absurd. Because, like, you have to keep coming back here for letters because inexplicably you can't carry them all with you. I really can't stand the fact that that door opens.
What have we got here?
Oh boy, time to see Chris. Every people like Chris. Crispy the school teacher. ER. Saunter mightily. Hey, how much would you hate a game where, like, literally unified with the walk cycle, the character made, like, annoying little grunting sounds with every single step you took? And also all the gameplay in the game was walking like this. How much would you hate that? How bad would that be?
Destination decided.
Oh man, you're right. We're definitely delivering a letter to the bird. And it's gonna be like super plot critical or something weird.
You have arrived. Please exit the tube in an orderly manner. We hope you travel with us again soon.
You're gonna do something that I didn't consent to again,
Ciao,
you two?
Chris. Ciao, Harold. What's that you've got there? Ooh, is it for me?
Well, yes, actually.
Why would you assume
it's
that?
something old, but hopefully you'll still enjoy it.
How mysterious. Well, hand it over. Let's see what the
It has like
mystic
stuff
ways
like
of
loosely
fate have
taped
brought
onto
me.
it.
Chris, it was a pleasure to speak to you about spirituality, cosmic oneness, the relationship between religion and science. And also, I must
Those
thank
darn
you for
Jesus
your product
jokes.
tips. I am already seeing measurable improvements in my grip strength and latissimus dorsi definition. I agree that it would be a shame to let matters such as this go by the wayside, despite our community's scientific mission and focus. So as promised, please find attached a number of clippings and notes that will hopefully aid you in your search for understanding and a new signature look. Science spiritually yours.
From Lecture on Cosmology and Religion by legendary cosmologist Marty Rees.
That's not written
The
anywhere.
church is part of my culture. The rituals, the music, the community, and the compassion. And if I had grown up somewhere else, I would have gone to a mosque or a synagogue for the same things probably. It seems to me that people who attack religion don't really understand it. Of course, bad people do bad things in a good religion's name, but they would do bad things under any name. Science and religion can coexist peacefully, although I don't think they have much to say to each other.
From the
Weird
esoteric
footnote on that.
research article by the anonymous self-confessed mystic stylist.
Again, nothing clarifying the source here
relationship
in the actual
between both
material.
Style and spirituality is not often explored, much to the detriment of both spiritual enlightenment and personal beauty.
Why are you doing this
Many
voice?
monastic devotees, for example, will shave off their hair, claiming minimalism and humility as a way of removing barriers to spiritual growth. But why do we associate Jesus with his flowing
Those are like different
locks?
concepts, like
Looking
entirely.
glam is surely in no way an impediment to feeling glam. The ultimate glam of the universe. The glam that connects us all.
Yours serving, Slay Queen, signed the anonymous whatever.
Fantastic. This is great stuff. I always wonder why she never followed up.
So, they're all clippings about finding enlightenment? Were you looking for a religion to follow at the time?
Well, not a religion per se, but something that would help explain my feeling that there were things science couldn't explain or express. I'm still, and will always be looking, I suppose. So this is great inspiration. Thanks so much for bringing it back to me, Harold.
No problem.
Oh, and, not that it's important, but how did you come by this?
Prime.
I was helping Buddy with some old mail that had got stuck in the all-water system.
This fish creature's super
Thank him
confused for sure.
After it all this time.
Ah, Buddy. Such a true
soul.
Anyway,
So he has a slug in his brain?
Thanks again, Harold.
I don't call people true souls lightly after Baldur's Gate 3. Ocean says he wants the last letter in the box to be addressed to Harold himself, explaining how nobody likes him and addressed by everyone. That sounds... I like that. Ocean also proposes... This is what R. Wallace and Grom is by way of Germany and space sci-fi comedy needs. Is like the weird dandy voice. Hello! I have to say, conceptually, I like this quest because, again, I feel like this quest from the mailman beyond the grave suggests, like, a theming like his, like, self-eulogy did of, like, the final exploration isn't outer space in the universe at large or something that, like, science can do for us. It's other people. And, like, whether or not you believe that, I think, like, it's an interesting slice of life way of, like, telling a story with the context of science fiction. And, like, even though I don't particularly like these characters, just, like, getting this depth behind them is way more interesting than, like, all the conversations we had in the first, like, 7 hours of the game or whatever. Yeah, I agree. Like, if this had happened early on, at least you would have, like, a sense of the characters and what they were like and what their motivations were, instead of them just, like, kind of being, like, rude to Harold and then you moving on because nothing that you do in this game matters. Like, it would also give you, like, again, like, we spend so much of the early game just, like, basically delivering messages anyway. Like, why can't we be the postman? Like, why are we a weird science janitor? Like, you could easily just, like, rework the basic structure of the story where you're the postman, but you're, like, friends with the scientist or whatever. And so, like, they, you know, like, you happen across the fish person by accident or whatever. And then, like, the scientist, like, comes to meet you and sees the fish person. And then you have essentially the exact same collaboration. Like, him being, like, science janitor doesn't help at all. It's confusing. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we delivered that letter. I guess we should go get a new letter? Because there is a new letter, isn't there? I feel like secretly is the other thing to do. There should be another letter. Okay. Make the tube shut. Oh, that's actually an interesting idea. Just basically strand him because of the weird conceit of the tube systems that shut down for the night that, like, doesn't make any sense. And then, like, demonstrate that this is, like, a failure of bureaucracy by having him, like, stranded in a weird place where he happens to meet Fishy. Yeah, it saves us a ton of time and feels like an actual inciting incident and is a lot more visually interesting. I agree. I need to go back to lab.
Destination selected.
Let's go to the lab
and a fantastic
today.
day. You may now exit the tube. Thank you on behalf of the All-Water Corporation for choosing to travel with us today.
Like, this game has, like, a bunch of sins, narratively speaking, but, like, it's also rough. Like, there was so much exposition about stuff early on, like the buoy and the broadcast signal and all of that, which, like, sets up stuff that I have to presume happens later, but, like, you spend so much time, like, locked into those cutscenes and it's not useful right away, and it's, like, also, like, not presented in a way that's, like, interesting in its own right. Like, it's like, purely narrative setup. if we could like trim that stuff down and like get right to like a thing that motivates your character would really help. And then like once you care about your character and maybe some of the others, then some of that other stuff matters more to you instead of you're just like walking through it to see more animations or whatever. How many letters are left? God knows. Game doesn't tell me. Wait, who is the next one too? I didn't pay attention because it was monologuing. Deliver a letter to Major. I should deliver Jumane's letter to the Major. So I assume the Major is the guy I keep calling the Constable. Which means that he's in Flummelumton. South Flemington. I need to go to Central and then go to Fish.
Determined. Now, relax with all water. You're here. Thank you for choosing all water tubes.
Flummelum.
Location nominated.
As far as I can tell, you did not actually leave chat.
Water thanking you.
And some weird stutter. No, perhaps I just had an issue. I don't know.
Thank you for traveling with all water.
Oh, actually, yeah. Looks like I dropped frames, which I didn't notice, but I think is resolved. It wasn't many, but it would probably have been just enough to create a disturbance in the force. You still talking about wet wieners?
Hey, Warren.
Roll up. What can I get you?
Harold, come and meet Frank.
Hey, Major.
Oh, he
Hey,
took his
Frank.
weird fish animal for a walk. I forgot about the
Major,
stupid thing.
Where did you get Frank from?
Well, it's not like I was illegally harboring an exotic pet.
Yeah.
However, now that my jurisdiction has extended to the cave in a nominal capacity, it was imperative to legitimize Fedoran interference with non-human and non-Fedora native life forms. And so, whether or not I was illegitimately harboring Frank, I can now proudly display him to the world. Isn't he the cutest?
Yes. He is a lovely flounder.
Not sure that's
I'm
what
sure
he is,
he's
but
glad
okay.
to be out in the open.
Halibut, I hope you're not implying I treated him unduly whilst I was...
I think he's going to shoot us, and we'll technically get the bad end.
I can see you take good care of him, and I'm glad you don't have to hide him anymore.
Well, I appreciate that, Halibut. Maybe you're not such a delinquent after all.
I try. I mean, I try not to be.
Nah.
You know what I mean.
You were right
Very
the first
good.
time.
Very good. Well, we'd best be off. People to see, places to go. Frank has some catching up to do.
Harold dying is a good ending. Do you think it's possible that as we try to escape atmosphere, a bunch of meteors will crash into the ship, and then we'll land in a volcano or something? Demotion also says, you could have a really biting critique on capitalism and humanity by having, like, marketing be the first thing that gets exported to the cave. Like, you could. That would require you to have, like, a coherent theme, which I'm still not entirely certain we have. But it's, I don't know, it's a more interesting idea to me than the seemingly obvious anti-colonialism that I think we're going for that I still do not like.
Major, I have a letter for you.
Why do you have a letter for me?
I'm helping Buddy. There were some letters that... it's complicated. He couldn't deliver them, though, so here I am.
Seems most unorthodox, and I might add, faintly suspicious.
You were harboring an animal.
Major, this is above board. Just read it. Here you go.
Dear Major Sandstorm, I really want to be like you when I growed up. I think you look very strong when you walk around, and I know you keep everyone on the Fedora
So this
safe
is the
by
kid who,
punishing
like,
anyone
he
being
hates,
naughty.
right?
I want to do that too. I have a little brother who is very naughty, and I try to punish him to keep the Fedora safe. I also like your uniform. It is very smart. Please let me know when I can be your deputy major. Over and out, Jew Main Hunter.
Respect for authority. No desire to give preferential treatment to his unruly sibling. I wonder what became of young Jermaine. I could certainly use someone of his attitude around here. Perhaps not all kids these days, or well, those days are as
not all
misguided
kids.
as young Felix.
No, Felix is the kid he doesn't like.
The fedora now, though, Major. Being a bit unruly doesn't mean their intentions are bad, right?
I suppose there's a kernel of truth to what you say. Not that it excuses breaking the rules, but you've given me an idea. Perhaps I could teach people why I'm strict about the rules. Maybe tell them about what it was like when I wasn't. Thanks for this, Harold. Be good. I'll be seeing you.
One of the most universal Vascoisms is, why is the most important question?
And so,
Demotion says, this was addressed to him and he was in his possession then. How does he not know what happened to this fan of his? Well, you see, there's just like trillions of people on this ship, Demolition. Just got lost in the shuffle, you know?
All water. Moving people every
Blood.
day.
Like, literally, the elevator is positioned in such a way that if we went down, we would just be dropped rudely onto some
We know
rocks.
you enjoyed traveling with all water. You're welcome.
You do not know spit.
All
Lab.
water compliments you on your choice of destination.
Seeing the crayon writing, you were hoping it was Harold. I thought when you said that, you were just hoping that, like, he had been the character who, like,
All water.
looked up to the guy, and it'd be awkward because he's always rude to Harold. But you just wanted, like, Harold as an adult to have written him a crayon letter. I would not put that past him. I wonder what she thinks I'm doing.
Okay. What have we got here?
Dear Harold, me again. Always when you least expect it, right? Well done for delivering
I like the smiley
your
face in the
letters.
address.
Very diligent. I'm not surprised, though. I always saw something in you. Similar to me. An inability to leave things undone when you know doing them will make someone happier. You might not be Chris's personal best in the station jog, but you'll always be a buddy champion to me, pal. And maybe you feel like you understand people a bit better now.
I feel like
you learn a
Buddy
lot about
also
people
thought
doing this job.
Harold was autistic.
I did, at least. I mean, I spent pretty much my whole life doing it, and I don't regret a thing. I hope you did anyway. I sensed that someone like you, who chose to spend their time reading old letters with an old geezer like me, probably felt like they had a bit of a tough time connecting with people. But I'm glad you did. Like I told you before, learning about people is a kind of adventure, a way of exploring lots of little worlds that exist within the fedora. And it's my belief that even if one of those little worlds looks barren and uninhabitable from the outside, usually when you make contact with it, even if you have to chip away at the surface a bit, or wait patiently for a while, you'll find plenty of life and laughter there. And you learn that life is just like a letter. It can change someone's life, but even the best ones can get a bit lost and need some help reaching their destination sometimes. And when a letter gets delivered, sometimes it's kept around on a bedside table, or it becomes a coffee coaster or a paper aeroplane. The message becomes a smile, a laugh, a scowl, a memory. And the physical form transforms into something else. Like me, I suppose. Anyway, don't feel you have to hold on to this letter. It's the message that counts. And unless you really love my workout video, this will be the last time you hear from me. It was a pleasure, Harold. Buddy. Oh, P.S. If you do decide to keep hold of this letter, maybe make it into a paper aeroplane and make Chris race against it. I'd love to beat him one more time.
That's stupid. In a fun way. Oh, he meant that literally. Okay, sure. I guess we could do that. Ocean says this is the first time in the game that I've liked the plot. I agree with that. And I like the theme that's sort of presented by Buddy's story arc. The unfortunate thing is, like, that's not what the game had been about up until that point, and it feels like it's only this subquest that's about it. But, like, if the game were about it, then, like, the fact that Harold is, like, super awkward would actually potentially be kind of interesting, and I would expect to see, like, character growth from him that I don't believe that we're going to see. Because we don't really get any sense that he's really reacting to the core of the message. We just see him, like, by rote performing the task asked of him, because that's how he functions. District.
Style with all water.
But, like, it's rough, because, like, even if we did manage to stick the landing on this and kind of make that central to the game and do all the things that I wanted to do, I still kind of feel like I couldn't realistically, like, recommend this to people as, like, a good game, because it's like... So, here's the thing. You have to play for, like, 8 hours, and then choose to engage with a specific side quest. And then the game kinda gets good, maybe. You know? Like... It's not that this game is, like, terrible, but, like, there's all these choices that I feel like let it down from what it could be. And, you know, it's unclear as to whether it will sort of recoup. Hey, Crit Twitch, welcome to the stream. It was good to see you again. Feels like it's been a while, but I've lost all sense of time, so maybe you were here last week. Either way, welcome, and have one of these. Indeed, you're always welcome aboard for whatever adventure is happening. Let's bother him again.
Chris, you got a minute?
Oh, hola! What's up, Harold?
This is gonna sound a little weird, but Buddy has challenged you to one last race.
What? Harold, come on. What are you saying?
Look at the end of this letter he wrote me.
Oh, yeah. How could I refuse? Fold them up and let's have one final station jog.
This is a really cute idea that I like a lot. And if the rest of the game was more along these lines, I would appreciate it. This feels very much like something that would happen in an indie movie. It feels like, you know, like Little Miss Sunshine or whatever. Something along those lines. That's sweet. It's really awkward that a character was rendered in his path, though. Because I'm fairly certain that was supposed to be a deliberate choice for him to lose the race because he felt like it honored Buddy.
Good job, Chris. You nearly had him there.
I gave him a real challenge, eh?
You okay?
Yeah. Thanks, Harold. I mean, really.
Same to you, Chris. That was very entertaining to watch.
Buddy. Making us both smile even now.
Ocean says, Harold makes the throw, plane goes 2 feet and right to the ground. Yep, that seems like my expectation anyway. Or if it was me, like, throw it and somehow by the moment it's released, it's already, like, behind him going the wrong way. Like, physically, that's not even possible. Boo-doo. Like, that was very sweet and cute, and I did genuinely like that a lot. And if nothing else, I'm glad that we played the game to the point that we got to experience that. But also, there's a limit to how much it can salvage the weird nature of the game thus far. I guess it's time to go to the secret door, because I think that's the only other thing today. Drawing needs work. What do you look? It's just Nightmare. It's just Buddy drawn as a chicken attempting to steal your soul right next to the constable. Honestly, because it's a fish creature, it kind of looks like he's just holding on to poop coming out of it. I don't know. And then the second drawing of the constable looks like he's going to eat it like a sandwich. I do have some concerns. So I need the utility district, which means that I have to go through Central.
We hope you enjoy your all-water tube system journey.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. I mean, especially since I wasn't even sure if I was streaming today because of the concert yesterday. Which was awesome for those of you just joining us. It was very good. And I'm sorry that I missed yesterday's stream, but I have to admit it was worth it.
Destination decided. Enjoy the view.
Whee! Always down, never up. This is how physics works.
You have arrived.
Either that or it's some kind of hip-hop dance I haven't figured out yet.
We hope you travel with us again soon.
So someone else is running the pharmacy, eh?
Welcome.
Oh, hi. Gunter, right? Sunny isn't in today?
Nope. She doesn't work here anymore. I think she said something about starting her own business.
So she quit?
Can I help?
Sure. But aren't you a bit young to start work?
Well, school is closed. They said everyone has to help out.
I thought this was supposed to be one of the students, but like, listen to that voice.
Did any of your classmates volunteer to work too?
Now that you mention it.
This is an adult woman.
Well, have fun.
So, I can't help you?
I already read this note, right?
Hey, folks. Regret to say I won't be able to make the rounds at the moment.
It's sadder because he died.
And thank you for your continued trust in the Popo Postal Service. Buddy.
I gotta say, Buddy has become easily my favorite character in the game. Not because he died, but since he died. It does make me wonder, though, that if all the other characters in the game died because the fish people revolted against their attempt to ruin their crack, would I suddenly like all those characters more? Perhaps. I do like the detail that now the boxes have piled up, because it's implied some amount of time passed, and also there's a now hiring sign.
What's the password?
Flatfish?
Bad luck, no dice.
Wait, what? But Felix told me...
What? I'm the password setter for today. I made it Flatfish just this morning.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Just let him in, it's Harold.
I can't do that, it's protocol.
Okay, well, as this week's password setter, I'm telling you, it's Flatfish.
Okay, password updated.
So what's the password?
Flatfish.
Nope.
What? But...
just messing with ya. Come on in.
I hope the door opens outward and knocks us on our butt. Darn it!
Welcome to the Lightkeeper's official headquarters.
Huh. What? You're not the Lightkeepers?
We are.
What is the poster behind him
Pretty
say?
cool, huh?
I want to say it says, "We all Irish," and I'm very confused by that.
That was all you kids?
Hey, we're not kids. We might
You
not
are.
be quite as old or as tall as you, but we know what we're doing.
It's literally impossible for some of these kids to be here.
Pretty much. You're the first older member we've invited.
Well then, thanks for inviting me to the club.
Ahem. Not a club. We're an anarcho-syndicist activism collective.
Oh, of course. Anyway, how can I help?
Well, whatever you do, just bear in mind it'll probably go unnoticed. Yava, what are you saying? That's no way to motivate the new blood. I'm just saying, that time in the toilet cubicle, I was there for hours and no one ever...
Wait, that was you?
Hey, everyone, can we get back on track, please?
Sure. We'll just suffer in
Sign
silence.
says we all perish.
Yes. We've uncovered some pretty crazy facts recently. Normally, we'd handle it ourselves.
But unfortunately, this time we require the help of an adult. One we can trust. Not one of them.
That's you, Harold.
Me?
This seems like an awful
Yes,
clubhouse.
you.
Isn't this literally just a dumpster?
Our time has come.
There's
Too
like
long
no
have
other
we been
space. It's
overlooked
just
by
a
the
dumpster
older
and
yet
some loose
no
boxes.
wiser of the fedora.
Yeah,
So let's watch back the footage Harold helped us record. Everyone shush. Look.
Wait,
this is the
didn't we
important
take
part,
that
Harold.
with us and
Freeze it
show
there,
the
Felix.
professor? How do they have this?
Now, enhance.
What?
And begin the image. Zoom in.
Okay.
Is that?
It's not,
Precisely.
okay.
Well, it's not very precise, is it?
Well, what's important is that we believe the time on the watch to reveal the true time. That is to say, all water time, as shown in the video, and true time do not agree.
Hang on a sec. How do you know the watch on the shelf isn't just broken or something?
Ha! We thought of that at first. But look at this. See? This one also shows a different time. It must be this watch she's looking for.
Why do you even have that?
My grandfather gave it to me. He hung on to it during the big watch
My
exchange.
grandfather's
He used to
closet
say,
has no
"What's mine is
pathetic
mine.
watches,
Ain't no corporation
you
gonna take it away from me, whether they all, part, or no water." And here we have... Yeah, we really don't know what this bit means. But surely it has something to do with the whole conspiracy.
This is not thought through.
They've been pulling the wool over everyone's eyes this whole time.
Well, now, let's not...
What other conclusion is there, Harold?
I'm not even sure how this is a conclusion.
Cool. Don't side with the man. We need to reveal this betrayal for the greater good of the station. If we can uncover their motives too, even better.
I reckon they're doing it for control. First they'll steal time, and then they'll steal... And then...
Well, I think they're planning something at night. And they need more secret time to finish their dastardly plan.
Or maybe they're just...
Enough theories. Look, here's the plan. We'll split up into 3 groups. Due to our long-term relationship with Captain Zoya, it shouldn't be an issue to get him involved. Corey and Eve, you'll go up to the captain's cockpit and take care of getting him on side.
Gross.
Roger! Roger! Your mission is to convince him to put out a diversionary message over the PA. We should get him to say that there's a giant meteoroid heading our way.
What?
Good
An
ending.
underwater one.
Yeah. I'll leave the detail to you two. The key is to get Miss
was the wrong
CEO
two.
Busy Chops out of her office. Felix, you'll...
Dash in, grab the package, slip past the...
Felix? No, you'll be holding the secretary's door with Harold to stop him from getting involved.
Me? I don't know if I should get involved.
You're the only grown-up. You're stronger than us. It's a key part of the plan. Don't
You want
betray
Harold
us
to, like,
now,
fight
Harold.
someone?
Lise, you wait in front of the door to Castle Chop's office. When she steps out, do your "Where are my parents?" routine. I'll hide behind the plant by the door and slide through like a cool gust of wind while she's distracted by your cute misery.
Yay! I haven't had a good tantrum in ages.
Everyone clear? Roger.
Roger. Roger.
Roger.
Roger, but will this really work?
You got any better ideas?
I'd probably better not have.
Then it's decided. Operation Trident of Truth is go.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Children, will this plan work? Yeah. Unless you have a better idea. Sweats profusely. I think I'm supposed to find the kids funny. I don't like hate them, but like I'm not like on their wavelength or whatever.
Okay, tube time. Is everyone ready?
There's been a hitch.
Yeah, Yava's ticket doesn't work.
They must have changed the system again. It was fine just the other day.
Well, look, there's no point in standing around blaming people.
Wait, who's blaming me?
All of us.
It's not my fault.
Meh.
As I was saying, let's focus on solution. Felix?
Well, we could, go through the vents?
Ugh. That's your answer to everything.
What if we steal one from a passing adult?
I hope you're not expecting me to help with that.
Oh no! Here comes Gunter.
Gunter.
Quick, beat him
Hi,
up!
everyone. What are you all doing here?
Oh, we're all going home. Long day of joint studying.
Studying for what?
Okay, look, Gunter. We weren't studying.
They held under pressure real effectively.
Ooh, trickery. Plans afoot.
Damn it, Gunter, are you gonna help us or not?
Well, what is it that you need?
Well,
It really
we
bothers
factored
me
you
that
into
this
our grand
alleged
plan.
child is just
We'll
an
reveal
adult.
to you shortly, but time is of the essence. We need you to secure the tube station and find a working ticket that we can use.
Of course. Here you are.
Thanks, Gunter.
So, where are we going?
Not we. I mean, we, not you. The plan, remember?
Oh, yes. And when was this nefarious ruse concocted?
It all started a few weeks ago, in class. Detention. Yeah, we had detention.
What did you get detention for?
Gunter, is it? Where do I know you from?
You came to the pharmacy, remember?
Ah, that's right. How's it all going?
Very good.
I wonder how that line of dialogue plays out if you don't go to the pharmacy.
Public-facing dispensary work.
Thanks,
That's
Gunter.
so weird.
And remember, secure. Plan.
Keep up the good work, Gunter.
Secure from what? When are you coming back to tell me about the plan? And my ticket? Oh. Back to work, then.
Are we the good guys? I don't think we are.
You may now
Yeah,
exit
this
the
definitely
tube.
feels like a different game to me. It feels like this is supposed to be like Stranger Things or Goonies, but like, we're not one of them.
Okay, the Lightkeepers are assembled. Let's go!
You're with me, Harold. Come on.
Okay, Corey, you remember the plan, right?
Of course I dig it.
Okay, I'll be good cop, you're the bad cop. Can I be the bad cop with a heart of gold?
Harold! Are you having doubts? Come and help me with the door!
Literally haven't had control. Absolutely flawless. Is that supposed to be funny? I think so, Castle. Also, hi. But that's where I was sort of like, I don't actually find them funny, because I feel like the only purpose of a scene like that is for us to be like, look at these hijinks, but it's just like weird.
I didn't see you come in.
Listen, punk, we need you to make an announcement.
Why are we watching part of the plane that isn't us? That's also not what this game
she's trying to
is.
say is that if you help us, well, we'll make it worth your while.
I have no idea what you're insinuating, offering and or threatening, but I'm kind of busy right now. So
Staring
if
out
you
the
could
window
just-
and contemplating why I'm
It's
cosplaying
true.
Pewter
This is a
from
matter of urgency.
Somnium Files.
We've been sent by Moreau to inform you that the radio boy has picked up signals of a meteoroid heading straight for us.
A meteoroid? Underwater?
Stop asking questions.
I mean, it doesn't sound likely. Why would she send you to?
Simply put, we can
Picture
move
an
fast and without alerting and panicking people.
Yeah, that Pewter.
Why are
The
they
one who
taking
helps
so
you
long?
understand things.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Okay, I've got to be mentally prepared. You know, if we don't want to raise suspicion... Hang on a second. If we didn't want to panic people, what am I making an announcement about exactly?
Just tell everyone that there might be big turbulence soon. Nothing to be alarmed about, but to stay inside until further notice.
Okay, it's Zoya time. Gosh, how frightening. Just gotta stay calm, okay? Okay,
I hope that by like pressuring him, they cause him to like sink the ship.
What's wrong?
I think...
Oh my
I
god,
just
that is what we're
activated the
doing.
ship's flight controls.
Oh my god, what? Why did that catch fire?
What is going on here?
Okay, get to the CEO's office, and I'll hold him here. Go!
I think he heard you say that. I'm gonna give this plane like a 1 out of 10 so far, and there's really only room for it to get worse.
They do all show the same time. CEO Hasselchop, we hereby present our findings, and let your conscience be the judge of their veracity.
What? I know I promised to keep an open door policy, but I hardly think it extends to rambunctious children.
We're not kids.
Well,
we're kids and one
certainly
adult
not
who's
all
mentally a
water
child.
employees. Unless you'd like to be.
No.
I'm technically an
We're here to
all-water
say we know
employee
your
we
plans.
established due to postal
Here is our
bureaucracy.
theory. Deny it if you can.
Well, hurry up and get it over with then. I've got work to do.
We know we were onto something when we noticed Yava's watch wasn't slowing down, but didn't match up with the official time. So we made a secret recording of you in your office and realized how badly you wanted that watch back. Because you were trying to recover the last piece of evidence that all water is trying to steal time.
How fanciful. But I'm afraid totally erroneous. I will, however, concede that you're fabricating an entertaining story and you deliver it with admirable panache. Just what do you suppose I'm doing with the stolen time?
Maybe taking the time for yourself?
Felix? I mean, how would that work?
Don't defend her, Harold. Maybe all you adults are in on it. Try to regain your youth.
I didn't know I'd lost it.
What? How old are you anyway?
I'm in my
7.
20s.
Wow, I'd never dig that.
Come on, how old are you?
What does that mean?
You're so grown up.
What does that mean?
Hey, I'm not.
I would have thought you were more my age.
Can we not focus on my age, please?
Yes, Miss Castlechop, stop trying to deflect our attention.
Oh. You see right through me. Okay. You want to know how it really is.
His 20s? Yeah, like his
Children have
120s.
totally misunderstood a fundamental principle. That is, that the Fedora is undergoing a ship-wide energy crisis. If you'd have stopped for a minute to consider that, you may have.
Wasn't that private information that people weren't supposed to know?
The system benefits the public. Everyone loves their individualized mobility and would never submit to having those liberties curtailed.
And yet they
So we
do
can't
because of the
balance
system you put
energy
in
budget
place.
there. Shortening daylight hours was the next option. But even if people would theoretically agree to that, they'd keep the same routines and use even more energy by keeping their own lights on. So we had to shorten their routines. A few seconds. Just a few minutes every few years, you understand? But it adds up. And
This
we
is
keep it secret
psychotic.
because it sounds like another curtailing of freedoms.
I mean, it
Now, we're
essentially
slowly
is.
balancing the energy. People have a better work-life balance and are getting more sleep, thus being happier and healthier too. It's all in the name of making the ship and its citizens happier and ensuring maximum freedom of choice at all times.
Oh, I see.
But what
Put
about...
Carol Killer.
I mean... Ah!
When you put it like that.
What?
So now you know. the
No, that
importance
isn't.
of
That's a
being
conspiracy.
grown up. I'll be taking this, and you'll all be leaving.
But no, we know the truth. It will all come out.
Just try it. See what the grown-ups think of your absurd theories.
But why don't you...
Out now! Secretary 24? Whatever are you doing?
Oh, nothing for you to worry about, Madam CEO. We had a small incident. It's all taken care of.
We need to go back to the hideout, regroup, and figure out our next course of action.
Do we?
Yeah, and get some snacks.
Do you like how we went from the game like almost redeeming
Time is
itself
of the
immediately
essence.
into this?
There's nothing we can do right now. And we can't all be seen together.
Does
Our
this
greatest
mean me
opponent
too?
knows that we
Sure.
exist.
You're
Who
one of
are we
us now.
hiding from?
But I do have other things to do.
No.
Yeah, let's split up for now. See you all back there.
Godspeed, Lightkeepers.
Oh my god, they actually used a cut effectively. That's staggering.
Order!
That-
Order!
That might be the first
Now
time in the
that we're
whole
all
game that's
here,
been true.
We need to decide on our next course of action.
We've got to expose them. Whatever Castlechop's explanation, people need to know.
Yeah, man. Let the people make their own minds up. Information wants to be free, you dig? But what can we do?
I'm not
Violence?
sure. It's not like people listen to me.
We gotta go big.
Bigger than ever before. No. From what I've read
Small.
about such matters, a small, well-placed anonymous suggestion is more powerful. We need legitimacy.
What if we mount another secret mission?
Yeah.
To
'cause
do
our last
what,
one went so
though?
well. What about pamphlets? Oh, we could tell the truth through catchy bee poetry.
Don't trust children. Kill all children.
Hello, Fedorans. Tonight we bring you an unscheduled but nonetheless timely announcement. Before I hand over to our all-water press secretary for the full details, I'd like to assure you that I very much feel, agree, and or condone what is about to tell you all. And I regret that it came to this, the following, which he'll follow up with now.
Thank you, Madam CEO. It's my duty to announce that the All-Water Corporation owes you all an apology. Certain details of the past watch and clock replacement scheme have since been discovered to have not met with our rigorous all-water public-facing customer contentment protocols. Those unfortunate past mistakes, which were mistakes at the time on our end but that no one probably noticed, but meant we could theoretically have handled it better. deserve to be made up to you. To prove our sincerity when it comes to taking responsibility for our past, accidental and good-natured mistakes, the person responsible has offered their own resignation, which we accepted only reluctantly and at their great insistence. We'd like to remind you that All Water continues to dedicate itself to your well-being and satisfaction 24/7. Or perhaps it would be simply better to say, always, no matter what the time technically is.
We will do better in the future. That's a personal promise. Thank you all for your time. Until next time, we hope you enjoy All Water's efforts all of the time.
Well, I guess that's that then.
What? Isn't that a good thing? We've got them running scared.
What? What did half of that even mean?
That's some jive talk.
It was
Just
so
with this
vague that
child.
it kind of covered everything.
It's very clever. It preempted and deflects anything we might do. Checkmate. Oh, well, you know, gang, we gave it our best shot.
Way too long,
We
and
kept
none
on
of it
fighting.
sounds true at all.
Yeah. And it was real swell of Harold to help.
Yeah, we dig that, H-Man.
Sorry, everyone. I need
I'm
to
gonna
sort
start
something out.
finding the creators of
Anything
this
we can
game
help
for every
with?
time that character
We kinda
says
owe you
dig.
one.
Oh, thanks, but no, it's okay. I've just got to reply to Bridget. We're having connection problems.
Did you ask Raffi?
Yeah, but they said they couldn't help.
Well, you know, we often find all sorts of strange things coming through this garbage chute. Even things that people like Raffi might not want the world to see, if you get my meaning.
Yeah? But that sounds a bit mean.
Oh, it's nothing
not
personal.
really.
But we did find an official document showing Raffi's involvement in the all-water clock swap directive.
Yeah, it was like half shredded.
Oh, yeah. And didn't the shredder come down the chute the day after?
That's
Just
stupid.
take it, Harold. Do with it what you will.
We could give him the tape, too.
I don't know if I want more sensitive materials.
No, silly. It's a rock tape. The kind Raffi is always listening to. Maybe that'll convince him instead.
Oh, okay, sure. Thanks, everyone. It's been fun.
Keep up the good fight, Harold.
Yeah. And we'll be watching.
No, we won't be.
Peace out.
That heist was so good and compelling and not really dumb or nothing. Yep. There's a fire. I have to say, I don't actually notice, Cass was asking if that hologram cardboard cutout thing was still burning. I didn't notice. I was too distracted by how dumb things were getting. Did anyone else happen to notice that? The person responsible for the credits has been sacked. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, right? It says, remember when they were the group that tied a message to a fish? It stopped instantly. I mean, we didn't see more of it. They kind of implied there was going to be a plot point.
All Water regrets to inform you that this route is currently unavailable due to an aggressive crab infestation.
Crab infestation? I don't see any signs of an abundance of crabs. Chad, have you seen anything like that? Oh, the fire stopped instantly? Wait, when instantly? It was... A soul still burned when we were leaning on the door, weren't we? No, I meant to back out of the dialogue that didn't happen. Central.
Destination selected. Have a pleasant journey and a fantastic day.
Oh, like, as we left her office, you see the fire go out?
Here.
Dumb. Very dumb.
Thank you for choosing All Water Tubes. Good evening, everyone. Please remember, the All Water Tube system will shortly be closing for the night. Get snug, not stranded.
Did Bridget tell us? Right, so we're gonna... I guess we're gonna talk to Raffi tomorrow? I guess? They've been standing here all day. Is anyone helping them? Well, not me, because I'm Harold Halibut.
Destination determined. Now, relax with All Water.
What is the power supply? I mean, it seems like it has something to do...
Thank you for traveling
like, there's the
with
energy
All
department.
Water.
I don't know. Like, we keep doing bacteria experiments. I don't think that's the current power source. I don't know how much specific information they gave us about that, actually, to be honest with you. Does that one identical person ever leave? There's a rotation of people who sleep. If you're talking about the, like, identical 27 uplet person, no, I think they live there full time. But there's, like, always people sleeping in the terminal, which feels like it should be a concern to someone, and yet isn't. Kessler really said, "Excuse me, stewardess, I speak jive." That's
Madam
also
CEO
for
just
sure where
wasn't
we're at.
Phased, but I've got to give it to those kids. They're really switched on. Anyway, thanks to them, I can hopefully convince Rafi. And another important day tomorrow. I'm beat.
Not yet, you're not. Bring me the hammers, chat! It's very much like this game to drop for a considerable amount of time the plot thread. I mean, we haven't spoken to Wii U in what feels like ages, like most of the stream. But like also we heavily implied there was like a conspiracy on the fish people's end, that they were all gathering together to like do something to deal with the threat of us human idiots. And like I'm way more interested in that than like the heist or the time thing. Like I do legitimately get that this bizarre time stealing conspiracy explains some of the weird elements of the game that we like asked about in the beginning. Like I respect that. Is it a ridiculous explanation for a thing that was contrived to begin with? Yes. Do I find any of the all-water stuff particularly interesting? Not so far. Does it seem like that's gonna be, like, really central to the end of the game? Regrettably, I think so, yeah. You know, it's the most depressing 20-year-old in fiction. I mean, he's like 20-something. Did he say he was exactly 20? I thought he said he was, like, in his 20s. I do kind of feel like they should have given him, like, more of a hard time about it to, like, make it more of a joke and not just kind of a sad statement. I don't know. The trick is that if I try to do a whole other day, that's going to be, like, at least an hour. And I've had, like, a really crazy week. I'm not sure I want to, like, run all the way that long. I think I kind of have to call it, though. It's been a lot. There's no manual save. There is only Zool. Vasco, hello. Thank you to people for joining. I don't know if all the people who popped in are still here, but I appreciate everyone who was able to stop by, and I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Harold Halibut. I do think that this has been the most interesting one so far, despite the fact that I still have problems with it, including the weird Goonies caper and the fish plot. Yeah, it's sleepy time. But like I do feel like this shows some promise that even if the major story overall doesn't develop the way I want, that at least we're gonna get some good like moments out of it. Like I really enjoyed the Postman story arc. Like there were still some goofy things about it, but like most of the elements of it I liked. I mean, they were kind of heavy-handed with him like doling out like moral lessons from like random letters that we snooped on. I don't think we like layered that in particularly nicely, but like I do appreciate that Buddy always seemed like kind of an introspective character, and that he took some interest in Harold because he saw him as a kindred spirit, as someone who delivers stuff for a living. I do feel like you really could have easily tweaked it into like a more interesting like backstory for the two of them that's like more important to the story at large or whatever. But I did really enjoy that. Like I feel like there was something emotionally satisfying about delivering the letters and getting to his last letter, and the race was really nice. The race against the paper plane was like a really sweet thing that I liked. I don't know how much more we'll see like that in the game, but like there have definitely been times in this game where I didn't think we'd get any of that. So it's encouraging that at least parts of the game may be rewarding in that way. It does at times feel like this was written in modules or something, that like people weren't necessarily collaborating and yet multiple people were writing different parts of the story. Because, like, it's one thing for a game to, like, have, like, inconsistent quality to dialogue or story. I mean, like, the Somnium File games, they're really inconsistent. Like, I know Uchikoshi to be, like, a really creative person who can come up with a great story. And those games, I find, are really inconsistent in the way they deliver that. Like, there's things that are good in both of the games that are out currently. And there are definitely things in both of them that I think are stinky and belong in the garbage chute in which we hold our secret club meetings. But like, it just feels like the core goals and like themes of this game vary so wildly that like it doesn't feel like it's from a single creative person or even like team. So it's just weird. We'll see how it plays out over time. I do hope we get more Wii U next week. We'll be back next Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, with Harold Halibut. I don't know what Saturday will bring. It might make more sense to try and like finish Harold Halibut and then play some shorter form games for a while, because like we are entering into some chaotic territory for stream schedules with the move. Like, I believe the week after next, we're not streaming again. I will not be available at all, I don't think. And then at the start of next month will be some variation of the traditional birthday summer vacation thing is already in the works. So like I will not be there for that. And then I don't know, it's gonna be a little sloppy. So I think that might make the most sense, is try to like work through Harold Halibut, and then if we happen to reach a conclusion to that next week, then like maybe pick up like a roguelike or something, and just sort of like play some stuff that it kind of doesn't matter how many weeks it goes, something like that. But yeah, I am feeling kind of sluggish, and it's been like a crazy time, so I think we will call it here. I know it's a little early, and I apologize for that, but on the, you know, if we think glass half full, we weren't sure we were going to get a stream at all. But again, thank you to those joining. I do hope you enjoyed this. Before we conclude, somewhere on the couch behind me, I've hidden one or more Squirtles. I encourage you to see if you can locate those Squirtles by directing me to where they may be hiding, because if you do, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. And if you're in a position anything remotely like mine, you may need some good luck. Yeah, what's the point is kind of a core question. It's not that there aren't things that the game is trying to say, but like it's clear to me that, at least based on what we've seen, there isn't like one central theme or even like a central like tone they're going for. And it's very possible that like some of these things, like the jive talking kid and the grown adult woman kid and just like the resistance group of children in the dumpster room, like there could very well be like a lost in translation thing where like the original dialogue was like actually funny, or the concept makes more sense culturally. I don't know. Not sure. Really just looked at the couch. What about it? What in particular about it? I'm curious. Thanks for streaming a game that makes me realize my life isn't so bad. Amen, Castle. No matter how old you are, you're almost certainly smarter and more capable than Harold, and you don't look like you're like 4 times your age. It's funnier in the original Klingon. I've been known to say on the stream, like, I bet that's hilarious in Japanese, because I've had such a history playing, like, you know, visual novel games and things that are often made in Japan, and we'll have, like, dialogue that's just like, I think that was a joke. I think it was supposed to be a joke. Original is German. And despite that, despite the German nature as far as we know, just, like, a lot of weird, like, British cultural influence. Oh, the wonderful narwhal friend. It's true, we have... Forgot I left Gentleman Narwhal up there with the tiny pirate hat that Neko made for me. There's Narissa, who's big, and Naomi, who's also big, and then this recent little guy, and then the mood ones, who pretty much live on top of the couch. Unless there's, like, an inspection or something. Anyway, we got some guesses for Sonic and Pikachu and Carlos. Actually, super localized. Let's see what we see. Oh, standing up sounds unpleasant. Ah. Okay. Sonic hanging out on top of Carlos. He has to go fast. He's very spiny. I'm not sure I've ever pointed this out. Most Squishmallows have a kind of uniform core shape. Some of them vary a little bit, but, like, he's got his hedgehog spikes. It's fun. Squirtle. Pikachu guess? Perhaps there's a Squirtle behind our watermelon octopus. Squirtle. Also, look at this watermelon octopus. Focus. She has a lovely flower. Someone mentioned sand shrew. Squirtle. Did I miss any? So many Squirtle. It's true. I mean, everyone was really focused in a particular area, so you're gonna find some Squirtle sometimes. In order for there to be the appearance of true randomness, sometimes they have to be clumped together. Sand shrew. I really do like the sand shrew. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everyone. It's been really fun catching up a little bit and playing some Harold Halibut and getting to probably the most fun section so far. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Next weekend should be normal streams, and then we'll take it week by week for a little bit. But take some luck with you, and hope you have a nice week until perhaps I see you next. And whenever that may be, remember to, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and that you are Colossal.